And you're welcome. Now, talking about development, it's important that we bridge the business gap between the north and the south. You see, often we get complaints that all the events, all the programs are happening down south in Accra and Kumasi, that we don't bring. Listen, we're going to the north. Come aboard. Let us all go to the north. Okay? We are not asking that businesses in the north only should show up. We are asking that businesses across Ghana should all sign up. Let us all go to the north. Let us all go and exhibit there. I'm talking about the Northern Business Fair. It's a 2-day event happening on the 25th and the 26th of July 2026 from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. So on each day, we can open up at 9 a.m. and then we close shop at 6 p.m. All right. It's the biggest marketplace you could ever find for all goods, cosmetics, toiletries, manufacturing, agric products, agric services, agric technology, innovations, just name them. All right. So from consumables to, just come. All right. So wherever you are, whichever corner you are operating from, and if you are a consumer or a customer that's been looking for a particular product that, if you like, is the preserve of the northern part of the country, this is the opportunity for you to establish that business. You never know, you can move from consumption to becoming the wholesaler or the retailer down south. You can become the number one supplier of that business down south. So let's all go to the north, 25th and 26th of July, okay, 2026, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Let's all go. Let's converge at the Jubilee Park in Tamale. Let's establish businesses, connections, networks. But let's not forget that this exhibition is made in Ghana only. All right. So you need to be an indigenous Ghanaian business or producing a Ghanaian, or you should be into Ghanaian production or manufacturing. And of course, you should be a Ghanaian business owner or producer, innovator, manufacturer, or whatever it is. All right. So call 0205 973 973 0205 973 973. Please do register, and once you register, follow up with your payments, and let's meet you there from the 25th to the 26th of July 2026, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. It's the Northern Business Fair. The Northern Business Fair is powered by Channel One TV with support from City 97.3 FM, and it's proudly sponsored by EcoBank, the National Petroleum Authority (NPA), the Ghana Export Promotion Authority (GEPA), and North Shore Apparel Ghana Limited. North Shore Apparel Ghana Limited. We'd like to say thank you to EcoBank, thank you to the NPA, thank you to GEPA, and thank you to North Shore Apparel Ghana Limited. So we'll see all of you on the 25th and the 26th of July 2026 at the Northern Business Fair in Tamale Kaula. We'll see you there on the 25th, right? And we hope that we're able to establish some good businesses and networks as well as connections from there. Now that said, let's talk about the big one for our students aged between 11 and 15 years. If you're between 11 and 15 years and a student here in Ghana, then you are eligible to partake or participate in the Literacy Challenge 2026 and stand the chance of winning 10,000 Ghana cedis, a laptop, and of course the bragging rights as the best student in Ghana. This year we have an essay for you, as we always do, and this year we're asking you to, in not less than 600 words, write a letter to the Minister of Education as a youth consultant, discussing the advantages and disadvantages of the use of artificial intelligence (AI) in education, advice on how Ghana can effectively integrate AI into basic schools to improve teaching and learning while ensuring that students in rural and underserved communities are not left behind. So that's the topic for this year, and let's give you the guidelines for writing your essays. The essay must be in your own handwriting, so the essays must be handwritten by participants. Okay, add your full contact details, and the essay must be endorsed by a parent, a guardian, or a teacher, and you must post and please pay attention, the address, okay, is the Literacy Challenge. The Literacy Challenge, P.O. Box GP 14123, Accra Central. The Literacy Challenge, P.O. Box GP 14123, Accra Central. Or you can deliver to the Channel 1 TV premises here at Tesano in Accra. Okay, so, and yes, there's some good news in there. We've extended the deadline from the 20th to the 30th to afford you enough room to complete your essays, to put your ideas together, to bring your creativity to bear on your writing skills, and to produce the best essay ever. We're looking for people with clarity, people with depth, and of course, critical minds. Okay, so let your critical thinking show in your essays. All right, so we look forward to receiving and to reading your essays. Man, I'm excited every year when I get to read the wonderful stuff our young students put together, and it's just wonderful to see the brilliance that is put on paper by students between the ages of 11 and 15. It gives you hope that, Charlie, all is not lost if our politicians don't politicize them at young age. You understand? And they are allowed to grow and to creatively apply their critical minds. Oh, Ghana will be a great place to live in. You understand? So yeah, we look forward to receiving and to reading your essays. And we'd like to remind you that if you need more information, please call 0205-973-973, 0205-973-973. Please remember that the deadline for submission of entries is the 30th of July 2026, 5 p.m. Not 5:01, not 5:02, not 10 minutes after 5. It's 5 p.m., 30th of July. All right. The Literacy Challenge is brought to you by 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV, and it's proudly sponsored by Prospectus Ghana Limited, SIC Insurance. Thank you to SIC Insurance. Thank you to Prospectus Ghana Limited, and we'd like to also say thank you to Advocate Publishing Limited. Advocate Publishing Limited. So yeah, great companies, great institutions supporting a great cause that will help shape the minds and the future of Ghanaian students. For more information, call 0205-973-973, 0205-973-973. Deadline for submission, 30th of July, 2026, 5 p.m. Once again, big shouts to Prospectus Ghana Limited, big shouts to SIC Insurance, and shout outs to Advocate Publishing Limited. All right, so it's time to check out the weather for today, effective 6 a.m. today. Let's take a look. So that's your 18-hour forecast for Ghana, valid from 6 a.m. The 16th of July 2026, and the summary reads: the day will begin with patches of mist or fog over some coastal, mountainous and forest areas, which may reduce visibility. As the morning gives way to the afternoon, a mixture of sunshine and clouds is expected across most places in the country. A few coastal areas may see brief spells of slight rain or drizzle during the afternoon. Later in the day, from late afternoon into the evening, isolated thunderstorms or rain are likely over parts of the forest transition and northern sectors. For our fisher folk, the sea is expected to be rough, so please take note, please be minded, please be guided, and please step out weather ready. All right. We'd like to say thank you to the Ghana Meteorological Agency, the GMET, for keeping us updated regarding the weather and bringing us the forecast. This one is an 18-hour forecast, okay, and it's valid from 6 a.m. today. So please be guided and be weather ready. Thank you to the Ghana Meteorological Agency, GMET, for bringing us the weather forecast for the next 18 hours. Now it's time to discuss football. It's time to talk football. Kevin Adam Kai is here. Who is the GOAT?
You see, since we go to the stage of the tournament, every time I come on, you see I'm rubbing my hands.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah, I think the semi-finals surprised a lot of people, especially the first one. I think the Spain-France one blew people away because people didn't expect that kind of performance from Spain. But yesterday, I think a lot of people were rooting for England. I realized a lot of people were rooting for England.
I got that sense after the game.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were rooting for England, and it's unfortunate. If you ask me, I think their coach killed them in the game with the way he approached it, especially after. I think they were doing fine.
Until after they scored.
After they scored,
I think so too.
The few changes he made right after they scored kind of baffled me. Because if you ask me, the kind of game that they were playing before they scored, they were more suited to continue playing that style of game for the entirety of the game. But he just reclined. I don't know why he did that. And it's an insane thing to do if you ask me. You score a goal, there's about 30 minutes left in the game, and you invite pressure from it's not even arguable. It used to be arguable. He's the best playmaker in the history of the sport. Nobody has gotten assists more than him in the history of the sport. And you allow him to keep pinging balls into the box consistently from that wing. I think the very first change that killed England for me was the Gordon Konsa change. Because if you notice, Gordon was one of the only willing runners on the English team that was consistently making those runs, and he was being found by Morgan Rogers. It was 2 times before finally Rogers found him for the goal. I just felt like you should have kept that dynamic. You let Argentina have the ball. When you get them on the break, you quickly break and see what you can do with your fast-paced wingers who are very direct. Then you take Gordon off, bring Konsa, and you take Rice off, bring Ben in. Then suddenly you're playing with 5 defenders with a lot of time to go, and Argentina to keep piling the pressure. They bring Lautaro Martinez in, and from that point in time, you know that they are going to try and find players in the box. It was similar to the Egypt game where Messi dropped to the right. He kind of rolled the years back and went back to his early days. Went to the right and started pinging the crosses in, pinging passes in. And when you're playing Argentina in that sort of mode, it's very hard. I think Tuchel should have anticipated Argentina would score a goal. He tried to, but they barely played a game where they were denied. So he should have anticipated that a goal would come eventually and try to plan what England will probably do next. But scoring that, if they score that goal maybe at the 70th minute or somewhere 80th minute, I understand those tactics. But it was too early in the game to concede possession and accept that you play behind the ball, especially for the kind of quality England have within their ranks. I thought it was disappointing that they decided to concede possession, like allow Argentina to have the ball and keep doing what they were doing. Because when you leave teams with that level to do their thing for 30, close to 45 minutes.
How long can you defend?
How long can you defend? I mean, you're not Carlos Queiroz. Carlos Queiroz was the only one who was able to keep England.
And this is Argentina for
this is Argentina, and they have Messi. I think the underlying factor is Messi, because none of those 2 goals were possible without him. His assist. So you are defending behind the ball. Your team is like constant pressure. When I look in the stadium, the fans that were there were more Argentine fans than English fans. From what I could see, I think the odds were stacked against England in that fashion. They were much more suited to win the game the way they were playing before they scored the goal.
Yeah.
After they scored the goal, I don't think they did much to deserve the win anyway. And Argentina kept going. So, and they are the champions. If you've noticed how they played throughout the tournament, they've labored throughout the tournament. They've suffered for their wins.
All their goals have come in the dying minutes of the game.
That's the hallmark of a true champion. They refuse to be beaten in the tournament. So they concede a goal and they tell themselves that they're still not out. Yes, they can do it. And when we were watching the game in the newsroom, everyone who was watching the game was of the same opinion as me that should Argentina get a goal before extra time, they'll go on to find another one. It was quite clear with the way the pattern of the game was going. England decided that, hey, no, we are not going to play any more football.
We're just going to sit back.
We're just going to sit back. And that's very dangerous to do. I didn't like that. I think the English media will slaughter Tuchel for deploying those type of tactics. Already, they weren't too enthused with their appointments. See, you know the kind of history between England and Germany, and the English people feel like they have coaches within their ranks that can take this national team to that height. Then they go and bring a foreigner, and it's unpopular. And now they lose in this fashion. I saw a tweet from one English journalist saying he was saying that they brought Tuchel in to kind of stop England from playing the most England way ever, and they went out of the tournament in the most England way ever.
Wow!
So it just made it extra funny. But I think it sets up a really beautiful final.
Argentina, Spain.
Yeah, Argentina, Spain. I
Is
think
there history between them?
not much history, but for the kind of players in their ranks currently, it's hard not to have the conversation without bringing Barcelona to the picture.
Right.
There are about 8 Barcelona players in the Spanish team at the moment, and the subplots are really sweet. For context, Argentina's coach Lionel Scaloni, when he was doing his coaching badges in Spain, his professor was the current Spanish coach Luis de la Fuente.
De la Fuente.
So it's master meets tutor in the final.
Yeah.
Then the more interesting subplots between the talisman of the two teams. 19-year-old Lamine Yamal and Lionel Messi. Lamine Yamal inherits Lionel Messi's jersey as Barcelona. And there's an even more interesting subplot about when his mom won UNICEF raffle when he was younger, and he was bathed by Messi. I'm sure you've seen that popular picture going on. So it's just interesting subplots all over the place. And Messi's history with Barcelona in 2006, before Messi went to that World Cup, the Spanish national team offered Messi a place in their team because of how much he had grown up in the country. He came to the Barcelona youth system very early in his career. He kind of grew up in Spain. So they offered him a place. He refused, stuck to Argentina. Spain went on to win the World Cup 4 years later in 2010, and everybody was calling him all sorts of names for making that decision. But now, how many years down the line, this is going to be his 3rd World Cup final. He played in 2014, won in 2022, 3rd World Cup final. I think the subplots for the final are really interesting. I think we'll get a really good final. If you ask me, Spain are probably the most comprehensive team in terms of team performance at the tournament.
Overall team performance.
Overall team performance.
Compact football play.
Compact football. They can attack when they need to attack, and they do everything as a team. And before the France game, I was saying that France will find it difficult against them, and people didn't believe me. But I think if you looked at the data a bit more keenly, you realize what I was saying. From the start of the tournament, the team that has created the most against Spain was Portugal, and they managed an XG of 0.63 against Spain.
Wow.
Most of the other teams have been floating around 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. So generally, the Spanish team managed to keep teams back. They managed to relegate teams to not creating really quality.
Because they hold the ball. For the greater part of the game, they have possession.
I think that was what frustrated France the most in the game.
They won't give you the
They couldn't
ball.
get the ball of the Spanish guy. And I think
you see that triangle that they formed, that Kubasi,
Rodri, Laporte. They are pinging the ball out. It makes it difficult for you to play against them.
They have more passes amongst themselves than any other team.
I think that makes them very difficult to play against, because you need the ball to be able to create and score, and their whole thing is starving you of the ball. And when they do have the ball, so they have players from Dani Olmo to Lamine himself, to Oyarzabal, to Baena, and players they can introduce from the bench. Nico Williams, who hasn't been that fit in the tournament, but he can still come and do something. I think it would be a really great final. I would love Spain to win,
and that Trojan horse. the super sub.
This Merino.
Charlie.
You know the funny thing against France, the game got so easy for Spain that they didn't even need Merino time in the game.
Yeah,
they didn't need to introduce Merino. But I think I would love Spain to win. But I've said this earlier on that the kind of tournaments Argentina have played, it's very difficult to underrate them in the final because they've suffered every sort of game in the tournament. They've played games where they've dominated. They've played games where they've been pinged back and they've had to come back from behind. Even more than they've dominated. And teams like that, when teams like that get to finals, I usually don't like to underrate them because the final is the biggest stage of the tournament. And when you've been through adversity like that throughout the tournament, when you get to the final, nothing really phases you. The kind of total football Spain can play, I think they will cause Argentina a lot of problems because they can starve Argentina of the ball. And when Messi doesn't really have the ball, he can't affect the game the way Argentina will love them to. So that might be Spain's power. But knowing Messi and knowing how he's played, especially through this tournament, there's barely been a game he's not contributed to Argentina's winning. If he's not scoring, he's assisting. So it's very difficult to write him off. I think if Spain will win this tournament, they will have to be really focused the entire 90. Because throughout the tournament, the least bit of drop in your level or your focus against this Argentine team, they make it count and they punish you. So Spain will have to be focused throughout.
They take their chances when they
take their chances because they don't have as clinical finishers as Argentina do have within their ranks. I don't think Oyarzabal is as clinical as Lautaro or as clinical as Alvarez. But what Spain have is the power of being able to hold on to the ball and starve you and tire you out with their passing. I think that's what they did best against France. They passed the ball around so much that when France did get the ball, France didn't really have ideas to exploit them. So I think we have a really good final on our hands. For the Barcelona fans, I think they are really cool. Anybody who wins the final, they will come.
I think people were really expecting the Barca Madrid final
with the England
with the Spain. With Argentina and France in the final. So an Mbappe, Messi type of final.
But then those games came early. I think France too also killed themselves. I think for both situations, the coaches didn't help. Because if you ask me,
and it looks like the opposing coaches also found an antidote to their style of play.
France, for example, they were playing really well throughout the tournament with Manu Kone and Rabiot as their double pivots. And if you ask me, coming into games like that, you don't change the dynamic because it kind of affects the team balance. When they started the game and he fielded Tchouaméni instead, I felt like Rabiot had a bit more to do in the game, and he picked up a yellow card early, so he couldn't return for the second half because the balance of the game, the way the balance of the game was going, Deschamps realized that if he keeps Rabiot in the game, he'll probably get sent off. So halftime, he quickly took him off. Then he introduced Manu Kone, which I thought was the right call. But then besides Tchouaméni, it doesn't really make much of a difference because I think they are similar players playing together at the heart of the midfield. The balance was working well for France when they had Rabiot and Kone, two players who can complement each other. Now you take Rabiot off, you bring Kone in, and Tchouaméni isn't the best on the ball, and I think Spain realized that. Another thing I didn't really like too was using Barcola instead of Doué. I thought Doué had a really good tournament and should have started that game. So those little things hurt France for me.
Anyways, we look forward to the big one. That's on Sunday. And
the losers will have to settle for the Saturday game. The losers game. France, England will have to settle for the third place game. So quite unfortunate. I think Bellingham had a really good tournament and probably deserved.
I think he's been the best, if you like, midfield out player in the tournament.
Probably, most probably. 6 goals. 6 goals. He's up there with some of the forwards with the goals. And I think by the group stage, he came up with England's biggest moments in the tournament. If you ask me, for England's tournament, he's probably been the best player
for England.
So it's quite unfortunate he couldn't make it to the final. I think he came up with a lot of clutch moments. Some will say he deserved to be in the final, but the way they played in the semi-final, if you ask me, they just got about what they deserved for that game. But generally throughout the tournament, I think England put up a strong front. They fought difficult moments and came up on top, but then they came up against one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world.
The GOATs.
So
it
was a hard ask, and Tuchel didn't have the answer.
I can go argue with yourselves elsewhere, but we all know.
So now the debate ended?
I think so.
If it didn't end in 2022,
trophy or no trophy, I think
it didn't end in 2022. I think now it's
yeah. I think the journey settles the debate.
You don't think Ronaldo will make it to another World Cup?
He might, but how will he perform when he does?
Well, true.
Showing up is different from performing,
yeah.
And we've seen it in this tournament.
I think people don't give Messi enough credit for the level he's performing at his age. He's 39.
He's 39.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are not speaking about that.
Listen, I love Ronaldo, but I think it is time.
It's time to admit.
I think it is time.
Yeah.
Messi has shown that you don't just carry a big name, but you show up when it matters the most.
Yeah. And he's done that for years.
He's done that for years. He's been consistent with that, and I think it's time. Give him
you know the funny thing, his performance I was watching the statistics of his performance from the last World Cup, and he's actually bettered the performance.
Wow,
more goals, more assists, more dribbles completed, more passes. It's just ridiculous.
You all know who the GOAT is. Yeah, and that's it. Also, all right, Charlie. Thank you.
Welcome.
So we'll have a big one on Sunday. We'll sit. Now I won't come and sit here. We'll sit somewhere for the finals. And when we sit, that kind of sitting, you understand. All right, Adam Kai. Thank you so much for bringing us the World Cup conversations. But there's a group of students from Unimac. They call it Unimac IG now. They're embarking on this amazing projects to end malaria now, and I think it deserves the push that it needs, because the malaria situation in our part of the world presents a difficult challenge, and so these students embarking on this particular project. It's actually a campaign to reduce malaria transmission in Ghana by promoting responsible malaria prevention practices, encouraging the proper use of insecticide-treated mosquito nets, and mobilizing communities to take action against malaria. So the campaign objectives are to increase public awareness of malaria prevention, promote the proper and consistent use of insecticide-treated mosquito nets, discourage the misuse of mosquito nets for fishing, farming, fencing, drying food, and other non-intended purposes, promote early testing and treatment of malaria, encourage communities to eliminate mosquito breeding sites through improved environmental sanitation, reach at least 10,000 people through digital and community engagement, encourage measurable behavior change through community participation and public pledges. Now, this is a Unimac student-led project that deserves all the push that it can get. So let's all commit to end malaria now. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One Television. Stay with us. We'll return shortly with the news review segment.
From across Ghana to the heart of Tamale, the very best of made in Ghana products, services, innovation, education, enterprise, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate organizations are all coming together at one exciting event. The Northern Business Fair 2026, your one-stop destination to discover, shop, connect, network, and explore new business opportunities in Northern Ghana. Whether you are an entrepreneur, investor, student, business owner, or consumer, this is where Ghanaian excellence meets opportunity. Join us on Saturday 25th and Sunday 26th July 2026 at Jubilee Park Tamale from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Are you ready to showcase your business to the nation and beyond? Call 0205-973-973 now and secure your spot. The Northern Business Fair 2026 is powered by Channel One TV with support from City FM, and it's proudly sponsored by EcoBank, the National Petroleum Authority, and the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. The Northern Business Fair 2026, your market, your connections, your growth.
Amama menyine hunubi efisejo nyami ono na waka obeshra Ghana amagana yenshira wakano ebebemo. Hallelujah. Enuanom osume bosume Ghana di mampa abodwuma die sonko a Glow International de bremo no ebaso ayamemne da 18 July 2026 wa Blaster Square Crime anopa no so 7 a.m. prompt edina daso onyamia sembebemu team not one of God's purposes for Ghana will fail. Joshua chapter 21 verse 45 erade share pa efa Ghana ho no ba kukrampo emfiri mu ebebem for afadie bia brebi join thousands of intercessors to pull down the blessings of God upon our nation. May be a glow for Jesus.
What if your ideas could shape the future of education in Ghana? If you were a brilliant pre-secondary student aged 11 to 15, this is your moment to shine. Welcome to the Literacy Challenge 2026, the national literacy competition that celebrates young thinkers, great writers, and future leaders. This year's challenge is all about artificial intelligence and education. The topic: in not less than 600 words, write a letter to the Minister of Education as a youth consultant discussing the advantages and disadvantages of the use of artificial intelligence (AI) in education. Advise on how Ghana can effectively integrate AI into basic schools to improve teaching and learning, while ensuring that students in rural and underserved communities are not left behind. Remember, your essay must be in your own handwriting, must be endorsed by a parent, guardian or teacher, and include your full contact details. Submit your entry by Thursday, 30th July 2026 at the front desk of Channel 1 TV or PO Box GP 14123 Accra Central. Stand a chance to win 10,000 Ghana cedis cash, a laptop, and earn the title of Ghana's most outstanding all-round pre-secondary student. For more information, call 0205 973 973. The Literacy Challenge 2026 is powered by City FM with support from Channel 1 TV. And it's proudly sponsored by Prospectus Ghana Limited, SIC Insurance, and Advocates Publishing.
Hello there. Thank you so much for choosing us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. It's time for the news review segment where we get into conversations on some topical issues and, of course, invite you to join us with your thoughts, your comments and contributions. Let us know what you think about these stories that we will be discussing, the subject matter itself and the submissions that will be made by our guest in studio. All right, that said, I'm going to say a quick good morning to Alhaji. No, let's make Honorable Alhaji Fuseni Issa, a former member of parliament for Okaikwe North. Alhaji.
Nana.
Morning.
Good morning.
I hope all is well.
By the grace of God, it's another day and it's always a pleasure to be on the platform.
Absolutely.
Let me say a good morning to you. A good morning to my senior brother, the incoming chairman of the NDC. I've seen some polls in his favor. My only worry is that it still has not got to the popular appeal that I would expect at this time. He's running at about 29%. His closest is about 21 or so. 19. 19. Okay. I think he's in pole position. I'm praying for him because not because I want, but I know that he will be a very good party chairman in opposition. I have seen his work in parliament, and we've been on this platform for a while.
Keep power for the NDC.
I mean, it's always important to have a vibrant opposition, and he's proven. I've seen his work in parliament and all that. So I believe that he will be a very good party chairman in opposition, and so I wholeheartedly support his bid. And for what is happening, I'm sure we'll get to the NDC issues today. Let's not stop midway and not get to the NDC issues. The listed issues. Hopefully, I'll get a good opportunity to take a
Very well. Very well.
Thank you.
Well.
And a good morning.
Well, you managed to take the wind out of my sails, so let's say good morning today. Honorable Nilanti van der Poy, National Chairman, hopeful for the National Democratic Congress. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, Nana. How are you?
Very well, thank you. I hope you're well too.
I am blessed and highly favored.
I hope you're not too tired, because yesterday we saw you doing some work regarding, may he so rest in peace, the late Professor Mills.
Yeah. You know, we launched a program for his commemorative 14th anniversary yesterday. And so from there, we have to go and do some work at the Sunjay Park. And we also have to do a few things to get ourselves ready, because it's a quite monumental day. And the lecture this year is going to be very significant, because the person to deliver lecture is Dr. Frimpong Boateng.
Yes.
Who worked closely with Professor Mills. When he returned, he was brought from Germany to set up the cardiothoracic unit. Then Professor Mills was a vice president. So they worked together for quite some time. And
what's going on?
Because I'm thinking that cardio was set up before.
Yeah, Rollins
before Professor became president.
Professor Mills, he worked for Professor Mills. Professor Mills became vice president.
Okay.
Professor Mills was then commissioner of GRA when he came to set up the cardiothoracic unit. And according to him, having a chat with him, there were so many issues that Professor Mills had to come in at that time. Clearance of some of the materials that will be needed for the setting up of the place. And then when he became vice president, he worked with him closely in trying to redevelop another cardiothoracic center. They wanted to set up another center in Kumasi.
Okay.
Yeah, so he admires Professor Mills, you know, a lot. And he thinks that his principles about political office were the same as Professor Mills's. So I was happy that he will be giving a lecture on the 14th lecture. We hoping that it will be in consistency with what we've seen in the past. Last year was magnificent. The lecture was delivered by Charlotte Osei, and in the chair was Sufaya Akufo, and it was wonderful last year.
Wow.
So we hope to maintain that level. See, we've always thought that Professor Mills was a statesman, and as such, we want the lecture to always have that apolitical atmosphere. So we hope to have the lecture at the UPSA on 22nd, and then 24th as normal, the day he passed, we will have the remembrance and the wreath laying ceremony at Asunje Park.
Right. Okay. That said, we wish you well and we look forward to it. We will be there to support and to provide coverage as well. Now let's get into our conversations for today. 4 years ago, an executive instrument removed parts of the Achimota forest from the reserve. Yesterday, the minister in charge of lands and natural resources, Emmanuel Amakofibua, announced to the entire country that cabinet has revoked this executive instrument, that's the EI 144, restoring the Achimota Forest Reserve to its full protected status. And this will reverse, of course, the decision taken 4 years ago to remove part of the forest from its reserve. The Achimota Forest remains, if you like, the only existing green area, if I can put it that way, in Accra. So, Alhaji, let me start from you. This news of the revocation of this EI, does it bring some respite to you? Oh no, I mean, considering all that is happening, this flooding issue and all that.
And as a former MP.
Thank you.
Yes, and as a former member of parliament, Okaikwe North.
You know, there's a song ringing in my head. I just don't know how come I tell you this. Nana, it's quite prudent that in the face of the current flooding and all that we're experiencing in Accra, climate change and all, I mean, this issues become quite topical. But the issue of Achimota Forest, and I at one point I was privileged enough to be the member of parliament of the area. And whilst I was a member of parliament, I was privy to a few things that happened within the space. The issue of Achimota Forest did not start in 2022. way back. I mean, we could go back over a century ago. Yeah. The original acquisition in 1991. The subsequent acquisition again in 1927. And then in 1930.
Is 1901.
1901. But from recent happenings, I mean, what brought us to this level? I should say that in total, the total acquisition from government with all the three acquisitions was about 1,200 acres. 1,200 acres.
1,249.
1,249. I mean, about 1,249 acres. And today we are talking about 300 acres left.
Yeah, 361.
361 left. Right. And it just shows that over a century or so, we have chopped off 3/4 of it because of urbanization, other pressures, and all of that. We have institutions and all of that situated in there. The Achimota Forest issue.
They took account of the school, Jimpa, Forest Commission, and University of Ghana also taking part of it for their bungalows on the eastern side of it.
Yeah, we call it Lower Hill.
Yeah.
And Little Legon, that sort of enclave. I was privileged enough to have schooled in that enclave from 1985 till I finished university in 1999, and so I'm quite with the area. And then I had a privilege also to be a member of parliament of the area, so I'm quite vexed in the. But you see, the issues did not start in 2022. What happened in 2022 was a combination of activities that had begun much earlier, and subsequent governments have taken some steps in regularizing whatever acquisition was done. The historical data tells us that the acquisition or the legality of the 1991 acquisition is available, the compensation that was paid with. So, but what was in question was the 1927 acquisition, that I mean the additional ones, and so the inability to trace where compensation, whether it was paid or not, and all of that are still questions that were lingering. In 2008, I mean, I think even prior to that, the old family, the original owners, had been petitioning government after government to be able to get back the land that was acquired from them. If compensation was not paid, then it meant that they had every right to go back for their land. In 2008, President Kufuor thought that, well, there may be some legitimacy in there. So he agreed that there was going to be some release to the Owu family, up to about 90 acres, I mean, per what the data is saying. Unfortunately, the process could not complete, and then we had a change in government. Under President Mills, a committee was set up. They got into the issues, and they agreed that the whole family might have some legitimacy, and so a certain amount, 118 acres, was agreed to be returned to them. Then again, the process did not finish, and then President Mahama came into office. The next major development was in 2013, when an amount of 148 acres was actually released. Was released in 2013. You see, the area is developed into something else from what I knew as a young person in the enclave. I mean, hitherto from Achimota School, Christian Village, Kisama, were very small settlements. Now we have some into Dome and all of that. It's become a very commercial area now. I mean, that part of the forest. And so in 2013, this was released. Over time, the extent of encroachment and all of that. And I have a problem, and something that I have been advocating. And look, the lack of a mortgage system in this economy actually sets us back. A lot of people have put up multi-million-dollar buildings, and in Ghana you have to put it down. If you don't have that money, you can't build the house, because I mean there's no mortgage system, no significant mortgage system to support. It is not just limited to the Achimota Forest area. Where I live, the Neighbor Town area, Racecore area, nobody has legitimate documentation to their properties. And these are hundreds of acres of land, a whole span. But okay, back to the Achimota history. So in 2013, 148 was released. Some variation was done to this release again in 2014. That took the amount of land released to 198. Another variation happened in 2020, took it to 329. And a new survey in 2022 took this to about 361.5. So what the government of Nana Addo sought to do in 2022 was to give legal backing to things that have already happened in the past. This allocation has been done to the family. The family is gone onto the land. They've been able to appropriate it as they deem fit as the owners of the land. And so in 2022, government thought that why not legitimize, legally support this thing. That's culminated into the laying of Executive Instrument 144. But you see, Executive Instrument 144 was not even laid in isolation. There was another executive instrument which we are not talking about, 154. 154 sought to also protect the remaining about 300 acres to develop it into a modern urban eco-park, such that we are going to preserve it in a way that when you go to New York, you see
the eco-park.
Into an eco-park. Because I sort of around 20, although I was an ex-MP, I was privy to some of these things, because I relationship with the assembly and all of that. And so that was the thinking behind it. So if the government of the NDC and the JDM, who actually started this original allocation, although the process was happening, they actually did the allocation of 148. If today they've gone back to say that we are revoking EI 144, I am still waiting to see the content of what the EI that actually revoked 144. Because I'm wondering whether the legitimacy that EI 144 gave to the land that had been released is being revoked. And if it's been revoked, what are the implications? If it's not, has the new EI taken into consideration the extent of land use or the spatial planning issues around the enclave? This remains to be told. So when the minister lays the EI, it's 2 something. I've seen the number, 234. When it's laid in Parliament, we'll be privy to the content. What the way going forward is. Whether it's revoking the legitimacy that EI 144 gave to the existing people, and even the implication on EI 154. So this remains to be seen in the coming weeks. And I think that for me, anything that is done within the legal framework, it's well and good. But then again, this whole thing of inconsistency with some major decisions, it's kind of worrying. But it still remains that.
What are some of these decisions?
The laying of EI 144, like I said, was a combination of decisions that governments over time had taken.
Right.
From what President Kufuor did, what President Mills did, what President John Mahama did in his first term, what Nana Akufo-Addo thought right to do, and which he did. And now we're going back. I'm not too sure. I am not too sure whether we are being very consistent. But then again, I'll make a point that I want to see the new EI that revokes EI 144, and I don't know its implication on EI 155. But I can tell you that as a member of Parliament in the area between 2017 and 2021 January, I had a onerous opportunity to visit or get into the forest. I recollect that at one time, the relocation of the Accra Zoo, when for the siting of the Jubilee House, so the zoo was relocated from within the park. And so now what we know as the Accra Zoo is now within within the Achimota Forest. And so there is some access that you can see. Why? I mean, when you go in there, you'll be amazed at the peripheral of the forest. As we see, it is not what is inside.
What's inside?
What's inside? Large tracts of degraded land. I saw it in 2017 when I became a member of parliament. And I took interest in some of these things, and it was shocking. It was shocking to know when you drive on the peripheral on the N1 along the Achimota police station, you'll think that we have a forest, and it worries encroachment and human activity. Over time, we understand urban pressure and all of that, but we should also understand that our environment needs to be taken care of.
True.
When you go to cities like Nairobi, you'll be amazed at the extent to which they've been able to intertwine greenery and environmental awareness with the development and urban modern city. And Nairobi is a very good example. Despite the height or the level of Nairobi, it's nice. I mean, Ghana, we just need to be consistent. Not too long ago, growing up, we used to have a garden city in Ghana. I don't think that, or I don't know if we still have a garden city in Ghana. You see, these are some of the things that we have to be looking at, and we have to be consistent. I am waiting to see the EI books, but it should be situated, whatever is happening, should be situated in the right context. That whatever EI 144 sought to do did not start in 2022. It had started way before then. It was legitimizing or regularizing the special use of land on the peripheral of the Achimota Forest, and that's what it is.
Right. Honorable, let me come to you. I'm sure you have a lot of history to share.
I'm
Forest.
conflicted in this particular discussion because my family virtually owns the land. I've spoken about this issue so many times, especially during the famous Sir John, legacy issue, and I've been part of many of these meetings representing the family in discussions with government. My first interaction with this subject was even as far back as the time of Jerry John Rawlings, when as a young student, my family thought that it was good that I joined the elders to the meeting. And I remember sitting in that meeting, and the then president was furious that the forest, part of the forest, we are demanding a return of part of the land. But the family had good reasons. When our great-grandmother was giving out that land for the wood lot and also for the development of Achimota School, she did that in good faith as a corporate citizen of this country. The chiefs and people of the Ghana state, for her contribution and her support for the war against Akwamus, offered her in compensation that land.
Right.
The land extends from the Tetekwachi runabout, the original Achimota Forest, for the Tetekwachi runabout to the, what do you call that? Is it Akweteman? Abofu. Abofu.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but then over the period, government came in and she willingly gave out the land as far back as 1901. Florence Na Kwale Ajesukwate wasn't that greedy. So over the period, the family has grown, and many of the great-grandchildren needed also to be found a place so that they could also develop for the administration. So the family made approach to the then government under Jerry John Rawlings. Because he was Achimota School product at that time, and there was this edge by the old Achimotans. How do they call them?
Akura. I must say that between 2017 and 2020, I was also on the school board of Achimota, and this matter
came up. You remember?
It keeps coming up.
So he was also conflicted at the time, but he did understand at that time that, look, the family at the time, the compensation which was paid was far less in contemporary terms. So something must be done. Just as other areas, petitions have come to government at that time about Nungwa people have petitioned. I remember at that time the Asene people had petitioned. There was another family that has petitioned. So we went through all those petitions.
Right.
Subsequently, the government of President Kufuor came up, and I remember I was privileged once again to be part of the team that held discussions. At that time, the former Minister for Environment, Sisadapa, was a deputy minister. Mr. Kojom Pienim and others sat in that meeting. We discussed it, and the general consensus of government at the time was the fact that something must be done. So, as Fuseni said, some acres were released to the family, but then they were asked to hold on until ratification and also something pertaining to rezoning has been done. There were strict conditions under which that land should be released to the family. In fact, the development pattern for it was even spelled out.
Right.
A group of architects and also planners were even drafted to guide the family as to the user, because they didn't want this indiscriminate buildings around. So there was a program that could not be done, and there was a change of government. Professor Mills came in. There was a lull for some time because there was another Achimota on the seat. So there was further engagement. And then when under Professor Mills, the Nungwa people's petition became successful, and those agric lands and all those things around Legon, what do Maijo or what do you call it?
University farmlands.
University farmlands area was considered. Then we went in again. Because I was close to Professor Mills, at this particular time, I withdrew. I didn't get myself involved.
Right.
My brother Oko also withdrew. So we were only having feedback. And that gave opportunity to our cousins, the Quartes, the Ous, to fight. And they fought. Along the line, we had a problem within the family itself. Because one faction of the Ous were also demanding other issues, and so there was then finally we got the sort of ratification of President Kufuor's earlier decision, and also further compensation, because the family had argued that the delay is causing further need for other, so the increase became possible. The same thing happened under President Mahama and then President Nana Addo. What raised eyebrows was the level of increment between the President Mahama's and under President
Nana Addo.
During that period, so many things happened, as Honorable Fuseni said. Because of the earlier some members of the family and some of them decided to go in, because executive instrument has been issued and order has been issued, and people were in a hurry. I remember between us, there was quite a misunderstanding. Why won't you wait? Some of us believe that let's wait. When all these processes and procedures have been concluded, then it becomes legitimate for you to go in. But some of our people were also so much in haste at the time. And it became so sensitive that environmentalists and other social groups became part of the whole discussion, and they highlighted they were not looking at the human aspect as we thought. They were looking at the ecological aspects. Sitting here as a Ghanaian, I would say that anything government does which is in the interest of the public good, I will support it. So if I have to give up my land or my possession for the general public good, it's law, it's binding, it's good. That's what our constitution says.
Okay.
But then compensation is also very important. And as my brother Fuseni said, this is not an event. It has gone through processes.
Yeah.
Between Jerry Rawlings and John Mahama today, you're talking over 20-something years. You understand? It's not a knee-jerk action. It's an action that is based upon various studies, recommendations, you know, petitions, and also evaluations and all those things. So today, if 144 EI 144 has been revoked, like Hussein said, I want to see what will happen to people who, based upon the earlier decisions, have taken certain steps and have, I would say, lost some property or some losses have occurred. What will be the reliefs to those people? And I'm also going back to say that there has been a Supreme Court judgment. The famous Okujeto Ablakwa Omaniboama versus Jacob Jabilante.
Yeah.
You remember? In that situation too, I was also conflicted because I was the then occupant of that official bungalow.
We've seen things in this country.
I was the then occupant of that bungalow. So when they went to court, I was part of the whole proceedings. But the Supreme Court gave this thing that once government has given an executive instrument and government has taken a decision that these bungalows should be given out and the person has duly applied for it and paid the necessary listing, it has become legal and legitimate. So we lost the case. So now, putting aside this particular instant, I want to see what conflict will it generate? What will be remedies that are available to those people who took action based upon previous government's decisions taken on this issue? And as Hussein said, I want to see the 253 and see what are the possible ramifications of those who have already put up properties within the enclave per the decisions that were taken under the previous government. I will support every government decision to preserve our ecology. I will support every government decision to protect our environment. And I will support every government decision to make sure that environmental degradation is minimized, if not eradicated. But I'll also say that lives and property are all in this situation. And as such, in all situations, we must be careful not to also make it unduly impossible for people to have legal remedies to their own properties. That is not the only thing the family has given out. Let me tell you, if the land on which is situated today, the psychiatric hospital, was also given up by the family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. From the runabout, reach YMCA up to the psychiatric hospital.
Wow.
If you go to Accra Central, we used to have a whole place for refuse disposal and also public toilets. It was also given out by the family. Yes, so a lot has been given out. Adraka here, Odona, where we have today the Achimabwakwa house was given out by the family.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So a lot has been done by our forefathers who at that time did that out of love for this country and for humanity. I think the family has a case, but I think that government must also, even though there is an order for revocation, there must be some conversation that will make people feel, relieved of the pressure that will culminate out of this particular decision that have been taken.
Indeed.
So in the weeks ahead, in as much as I'm conflicted in this too, because of the fact that I'm part of government, I'm part of the family. I know the family will immediately react to this particular measure, and then we have to engage. Let me tell you, one of the ones that we are in court. It's where the former government decided to build affordable housing in the Ajin Kutuku area.
Okay.
That land was also given out by the family. That land to what do you call the place? Achiaman and other areas used to be owned by the original Vanderpoel, who was a merchant in cocoa. You understand? And government asked for part of the land to build police quarters and prison quarters. There used to be a part which was used for a research station and all. So the necessary discussions must be had, and then we see how we can resolve this amicably, so that the government will not feel that it's failed to preserve an ecological asset, and then the family will also be willing to engage with government to see how we can also contribute to the discussion and also have a compensation that is needed for what we have, our grandfathers and our grandmothers willingly did for the development of this country.
Honorable, let me find out, will cabinets have engaged the old family before this revocation?
I can tell you for a fact that as I sit here, I'm not aware. Because yesterday when it happened, I made few calls to members of the family, and they were bitter, very, very unhappy that hitherto there was a committee of the sort engaged in discussion, but nothing at all. They were not aware. They were taken unawares by this decision, and some of us are now being held liable because
for something like that.
So at this point, you are the bridge.
My family had said, "Bu cook and nijang fe tajen, nyetajen, nyefe, nina nyehani, acting like a decision." Mini said, "I'm I don't know. You understand?" He said, "3 of us, me, Uku, and Nijagba, our part of the government." In fact, what makes it even difficult for even my brother Nijagba, the fact that he is the chairman of the Regional Lands Commission.
Ooh. He's even more conflicted.
Yes. I have been made a spokesperson for the family in the past 5 years.
Right.
You know, so this is that we are there. We are part of government, and we sat down and allow such a decision to be taken.
Yeah.
But we are being flogged for something that we are not really conscious of, and there's nothing we can do because I take it that it is for public good and it's for public interest. But then I think we must have that conversation that will bring some relief to the family.
Well, Alaji, you mentioned that the periphery presents a picture of a dense forest, but when you go in, you find other things happening in there. So for persons who pay the 144 had embarked on some level of development, because of course it had portions of the forest that we ceded to the family. So if some development had started, these persons are owed compensation. That's a question. And then the second one is, if we are to safeguard the ecological nature of the area, how are we going about it? Are we just amending?
And let me make this point.
Like
you know, Alaji made a point. Yes, compensation was paid for part of the land. Then government came in and asked for more because the woodlot had to be developed. At that time, the woodlot was supposed to feed the Achimota School, which had been founded. At that time, there was nothing like gas. There was nothing like this thing for the kitchen and all those things. And you know, the Achimota School was founded with great vision to develop the manpower needs of this country. And there was a special interest in Achimota School at the time.
Prince of Wales College.
Yes, Prince of Wales College. That's how it was called.
The whole fabric.
So the colonial government really was interested in how to maintain the school. So they came in and asked for this, so that wood lot will be done, and then when the wood is cut, it will be dried and used for the kitchen, and to fire at that time the needs of Achimota School. So that one, there was no appropriate compensation, and that was the legal basis for which the family made the petition to the government of Jerry John Rawlings at the time, and subsequently to President Kufuor.
So we have the Moose area part of the forest.
Is it
Moose?
No, Moose is too far.
It's too far.
It's too far.
Yeah.
It's too far.
We're talking from now,
The
let me say
N1.
Noga Hill.
Yeah.
Noga Hill, the N1,
Yeah.
all through to, if you get close to Akwetiman, Abofu, where the mechanics are, when you descend, you know, and the
Where the
right,
drain-
go through the golf course.
Okay.
You understand? Golf course. line. Up to them, is it the Anumble or Christian? Anumble.
That's the boundary of Gimpa.
Yes. No.
That's the last buildings before you get into Gimpa.
Yeah.
Right.
But then Gimpa was originally
yes, so Gimpa was originally part of it.
Yeah.
And so it comes to the new road and originally sharing boundary with the lands of the University of Ghana.
Right, right. So now, do we owe compensation, and how do we protect and ensure this ecological balance of Accra?
So that's what I was pointing to earlier when I said that with the revocation of EI 144, it would have been revoked by another EI
234.
234, and that would have taken into consideration some of the ramifications of the revocation. Then again, even EI 154, which sets to protect the remaining 360 acres into a modern eco park like we see in New York, Central Park, and even in London you have
Hyde Park.
Hyde Park in London and all of that. Those are
and very good people were put in place. Former Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission, Samuel Afari, the owner of Afari Date, was the chairman of the committee that was set up under Professor Mills. To set up the Eco Park and all those things.
The man who said the Eco
Safari Valley.
Safari Valley. Yeah.
Safari Valley. Ah, okay.
So what's going on?
let me remain online.
It's a very mischievous laughter.
And so the certainly cabinet would have talked about the implications of the revocation of 144, and we still can't conjecture or speculate on what the cabinet decision was. We've heard of the announcement, but I am sure that the minister would have been aware that revocation also will bring certain implications on the current residents within the area. And you see, all of this links directly to our economy and our economic growth. Elsewhere, the sort of finance you get in mortgaging. I mean, people being able to take equity out of their properties, invest in businesses, and all of that. It's something that we need to actually pay some very good attention to. Can you imagine all those houses there? It's equity that's tied up in immovable property. And for a very finance client person, it's a loss to the economy. So there's a lot that we can do. And so I would have thought that cabinet will bring some decisions on the way forward. Whether I don't even want to speculate, but I want to wait to see what decision cabinet took on the current occupiers of the peripheral that we are referring to, those who got their legitimacy from EI 144. And so we are waiting to see the new
there was even a whole discussions on how the place need to be developed.
Right.
I remember at that time, Unicolendi, for example. Yes, and he was a legal advice and all, yes. And others, there was a strategic thing. There was a development company that was supposed to help in designing, designing the sort of buildings that will conform with the new, let me say, development of that enclave. That if you're going to put in in fact, the issue of mortgage and these things was also developed, that structures there must conform to certain designs and make it so, like when you go to a place like Italy and you are traveling between Reggio Emilia and Milan, you see the sort of buildings, they look unique and with the same architectural design all through to give a certain aesthetic picture of the area. All these things were looked at. And you know, one of our family members was also into that sort of business, you know, the great the designer and the artist, Francis O. He was part of the main technical review committee to look at that, so that everybody, so even if you're a member of the family and you don't have the money to develop that land, you could have a relationship with the estate development company assigned for that, so that yours will be an equity into the development of that, so that the family can continuously hold. Even with the family was supposed to set up something like a endowment fund to take care of future generation scholarships, Medicare, and all others, so that it won't be that sort of indiscriminate sale of land by families and all those things. There's a structured family with this, that if you want to build, how you're going to do about it. Nobody is supposed to sell a land. And all. There's a whole conditions that were set up. So there was going to be some sort of discipline and control in the usage and the utilization of that land that was given out.
Right.
But I'm expected to see, as I said, the new EI, and then we'll look at it. And I'm sure between yesterday and today, I'm sure the family will be having a discussion. Sitting here, I don't know what is happening at the family house by now. Hopefully, my senior brother Oko and I'm sure Nijama will definitely recuse himself from any discussions ongoing because of his position. And I envy him at this point in time.
You do?
Yeah, at this point in time, it's not going to be a good time for him at all. Because he's going to be under stress and pressure from the family.
Indeed. Good morning, Nana. This is Abdul Ganiu Mankarigu from the Savannah region. The issue is not only about the president and his cabinet focusing on protecting the Achimota forest. Every forest reserve across the country deserves the same level of protection. We are deeply concerned about the continued illegal mining activities taking place in many forest reserves. We're calling on the president to demonstrate a clear commitment to protecting all our forests by ensuring that the laws against illegal mining are enforced fairly and consistently. If decisive action is not taken, the destruction of our forest reserves will only become more severe than what we are witnessing today. All right, that's Abdul Ganiu Mankarigu from the Savannah region. You can also send us your message. We'll do our best to read them out on the show. Yesterday, we received a statement. This statement is from the New Patriotic Party, NPP. And it says it's for immediate release. It has the signature of Dankwa Smith Bute, National Chairman, Acting, and Justin Kodua Frimpong, General Secretary. It's quite a short statement, and it has to do with the constituency executive elections of the NPP, basically telling us that the party has annulled purported elections in some selected constituencies and refers outstanding electoral disputes to the Electoral Affairs Committee. The constituencies listed here are 1. Bantama, 2. Efija Sechere East, 3. Adanse Asokwa. Alaji, what's going on?
Oh, Nana, okay, that's a circular from the New Patriotic Party. Yes. But I was just seeing the Daily Guide, and there's a story of interest to me. Minority boycotts BOG briefing over media ban. It was quite an event in Parliament yesterday.
Really?
Yes.
So
did anything happen out
there? You want to have your own topic yourself?
No, I don't. I am not introducing something out of our discussion.
So what's going on?
This was quite significant yesterday.
Nana, maybe you have to give us a topic for us to
exactly. The governor gets to Parliament.
Maybe we need to open it up for you to say your topic.
The question is on the 3 constituencies.
And the majority insists that the media is shut out of whatever the governor has come to say in Parliament.
But
is it new?
You've been in Parliament before. You know that standing orders permit that.
This was the committee of the whole.
It does. And I will agree about the circumstances of the committee of the whole. But you see, there's a precedent. When the current majority leader, actually summoned the previous central bank governor, Addison, on the cost of the building of the Bank of Ghana. They did not have that discussion in the committee of the whole.
You were not in Parliament.
I don't need to be in Parliament to know.
I was there.
I don't need to be in Parliament.
It was a
and you see, Nana, the interesting bit is that before you come to Parliament to answer some of these things, your answer would have even been published. already, and so we know what you are coming to say.
It's not all the time.
But the opportunity,
it's not all the time.
In this case, it was. The opportunity
If it's a sensitive matter.
Yes.
The opportunity for subsequent questioning is what the majority was running away from. But we have the gist. I mean, the crust of what the governor was coming to say.
You and I know.
Why the majority would want the media to leave the chamber
you and I
before
know
the governor
how many
actually
times we
addresses
sat
this
in
nation.
parliament when committee of the whole sittings
It happens.
was please. How many times can just once when the committee of the whole sittings have been open to the media?
But I've given you an instance.
I'm saying no. It's not
I have
true.
given you
It's
an
not
instance.
True. It's not true. You see, at the end of it all, whatever comes out of the decision of the committee of the whole
It will be made
will
public.
be made available in the Hansard.
It is true.
Yeah. So why
The
do you
Hansard
want?
will cover. But
They
then
always
again,
clear the
then
media.
again, the minority would have lost the opportunity to ask follow-on questions.
How?
Because the media was not present.
They will do that always at the committee of the whole.
media's absence.
Because
Does the media's
because-
absence stop the minority from asking questions?
In fact, the committee of the whole
see, in
gives every
Parliament,
member of
in
parliament
Parliament,
so
right?
much room.
whether
to
or
ask
not,
many questions
whether or
as
not
they
you are
want.
seated on the right or left-hand side of the speaker, you have unique tools to use as a member of parliament or as a caucus.
You see.
And this is what the minority is being deprived of.
But for
They
mischief,
wanted representation.
Fuseni knows that at the
They
committee of
wanted
the whole,
representation.
at the committee of the
The
whole, we don't
media
have
present-
right side and left side.
Oh no, I'm not saying.
We don't.
I am
Like,
referring
at
to
the
minority majority.
Yes, but at the
I
committee
am
of the
referring
whole,
to majority
we don't
and
have majority and minority. At the committee of the whole, we sit down anyhow. So it doesn't matter where you are sitting, doesn't matter who you are. Once you catch the eye of the chairman, we don't have a speaker at the time. At the committee, we don't have the.
Why are you protecting him?
No, I'm saying that is what
And yesterday,
I am.
if you listen to commentary subsequent to the event, the majority speaker,
Majority leader.
the majority leader, whatever the governor says is sensitive to even our currency. Since when did he know that? There was a point in time when Nanado in the height of COVID,
You've managed to smuggle in
At
the
the height of
different
COVID.
subjects. So you let
at the
us
height
move
of
on.
COVID, say, when the economy was actually going through some very trying times, he said the minority then was always running down the economy, the rating agencies and all of that. And some of this are very sensitive, so we should help loose in this country. Today,
Nana,
you are telling us
I like
otherwise,
this. I like
and you
this.
should listen to the commentary by people like
This Sagama's leader they are doing. It won't work.
I needed it. For me, it was a very interesting event that I thought was, I mean,
So
could have
the
actually.
topic introduced by Nana has become.
Yeah.
No, it's not become moot. It's also.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll deal with the MPP constituency elections, which has become what it has become in certain constituencies. The party have found reason to, if you like, annul the elections in some constituencies. When we come, we'll go into those constituencies. Stay with us. This is Breakfast Daily. We'll return shortly.
I think most people need to know about oral cancer and oral cancer screening.
So oral cancers are deadly. They come late, which means by the time we're catching them, they're in grade 4 and we lose them. Best way to solve this is to catch them early, so we need to screen them more often. What do you guys do as hygienists?
So usually on the first visit, when our patients come in, we do a visual exam. So we'll palpate your neck, we'll check your lips, your tongue. We'll use a special light called an oral ID to detect abnormal tissues. We're looking for things like red patches, white patches that don't heal.
By the time we realize it's too late. So once the oral ID picks it up, we have to biopsy and make sure you're clear. And if it comes out good, fine, we're happy. If it doesn't, we start treatment very early.
Important that people are coming in at least every 6 months to get those things checked, especially since there are no symptoms. You may not know something's going on in your mouth until you come in for your dental visit.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
My line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Samacha Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is simple buying, a man's rain, Nesansu Mama Hotoso, a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
This is the old way. Let me show you a new and a better way. EduPack.
EduPack?
Yes, EduPack. A GS-approved and supported initiative for all first-year students going to SHS by Prospectus Ghana Limited. Now you don't need to go to the market. All your trunks, mattresses, pillows, including plastic chalkboards, are all waiting for your child at the school. Note, all our wooden chalkboards are being changed to plastic ones to avoid bedbugs.
You can also register by dialing *713*821# following the prompts, or you can visit www.edupackgh.com and tap register. You can also register at any ADB branch near you at a very affordable price. EduPack, approved and supported by GES.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel One TV. We're having the news review segment. Alhaji Hussein Issa managed to, do some magic with a different topic. Although we are moving into the constituency elections of the NPP, your topic has generated a message that's from Bonti Benjamin. He says, how can the acclaimed apostles of probity and accountability disallow the media from covering the BOG governors answering questions pertaining to accountability? Such an act does not mean well for our democracy.
I thought Bonti has ceased to be a...
Can I make one last point on there?
You want to go on the same tangent again?
Okay, let's
Honorable, there's a message for you. I don't know. It says, good morning. Please tell the incoming national chairman, Milante, that grassroots recruits by NADMO have not been paid for 15 months. And no one seems to care. We are suffering and something should be done about
that's
it.
one of the reasons why I want to be national chairman.
Okay.
What do you say? Grassroots recruits.
He says his name is Abdul Razak from Medina.
Grassroots
recruits.
Which one too is that? Grassroots recruits of NADMO.
I'm sure as a politician you would know.
If I knew, I wouldn't have.
Anyways,
you are inquiring for mischief.
Your party has annulled the constituency elections in 3 constituencies. Interestingly, all 3 are in the Ashanti region: Bantama, Efija Sechere East, Adanse, Asokwa.
Nana, without
what did the party know that of Wejagbawe?
They are protesting in Wejagbawe.
Oh, without narrowing down to those three constituencies, the NPP over the last couple of months have been going through what we have called reorganization. And we started from the very basic level, membership of the party and all of that. I'm saying because I am directly involved. I have worked in 2 constituencies on this reorganization matter. I was
you were chased out of Ududu.
Oh, I wasn't chased. I don't know where that say is coming from. I wasn't. I mean, you see, there are processes. There are processes, and we have been very transparent, open about some of these processes because we think that by being transparent and open about this, we get the fulcrum of the party, the very basic people to actually come along with us as we prepare for elections 2028. So membership drive, we've done the polling station elections, we've done the electoral area. Yesterday nominations was open for regional elections. So we've come very far. This whole process is such that there is competition at every level of this, and sometimes it includes mass. We are talking about 276 with thousands, sometimes 2,000 polling station executives in a particular constituency like Domiko Abinya and all of that. So we are talking close to like 300, 400,000 people involved in the process. And what we have done is that we select significant party people to go into these constituencies to lead the processes. And the guidelines are very transparent, available to all. But when you're doing a process that involves hundreds of thousands of people, certainly there will be some issues or some places that will need specific attention. I don't want to narrow the issues down to Bantama or Afidja or Adansi. In the run-up to the constituency elections, certainly there are people who have had issues, some disagreements from the polling station or electoral area that they think that if we don't get it addressed at this point, it might just fester into subsequent events within the constituency. And you know, ultimately, all of this will culminate into the selection of parliamentary candidates in a time ahead of us. So sometimes it becomes overly competitive. And so some of these things happen. But it's not out of the ordinary. There are election guidelines that we need to follow. There are bigger strategic issues or implications of what the outcome of this processes become. Not too far away from now, we are going to have our national elections. There are interest in there. People are lobbying. They think that they need to get their people in there. Sometimes they don't do it too fairly. Sometimes they think that they could take advantage of the process. Sometimes somebody also thinks, I mean, it's just competition. And when you're doing a competition, when you're doing a process like this, involving 276 constituencies, with hundreds of thousands of people, certainly you have a, but you see, the ultimate, and what I am happy about is that sometimes when you go to social media and so somebody NPP when you go into the constituencies and you see the energy in the party, the expectations of people, the aspirations where they want to see this party, energy involved.
Energy because elections have come, so it's cocoa season for somebody.
No, you see, at the levels we are talking about, there's very little financial motivation for anybody to go and vote.
But then our politics has become so attractive. People are energized to go. You see,
gain. That's why I'm saying that at this level, at the levels we are talking about, there's very little motivation. But you see, when you want to belong to a party like the New Patriotic Party, and you want to be a member at a certain level, either a polling station executive or the electoral area, what we call coordinators team. Now, I mean, we have moved significantly from where we were. Already, prior to this program starting, we had just 5 polling station executives per polling station. Now we have improved to 7. And even in the electoral area, we had a coordinator for about 10 polling stations. Now we have a whole team of 5, including communication people and research and elections people, ready and capable of taking the party into 2028 elections.
Right.
And so the level of competition, it's not out of the ordinary. Because of, then again, because of competition, you would expect that, there are a few issues. But we have shown that out of the 276, I think what we have done 250 and we have about 26 outstanding. NEC itself intermittently issues statements like they did on these 3 constituencies. And so it is nothing out of the ordinary. The good thing for me is the energy that I'm seeing in the constituencies. And I am very, very happy that, look, those who would have thought that after what happened in 2024, the NPP will struggle.
What happened in 2024?
Of course, we lost elections, and we lost elections by a huge margin. No problem. No problem. You see, as a politician, when these things happen, what we need to do is to learn from the experience and get better. We can only get better from where we were in 2024. We all agree, across board, even the NDC agrees that, look, the NPP can only get better. And that's where it starts from. The reorganization, we have come very far. We are the region. Thankfully for us, the impact of the running mate, the flag bearer is out of. Even when the impact of the flag bearer is out, look at the level of enthusiasm you're seeing within the constituency, which is very, very positive.
Very well.
And so we are building on where we left.
Quickly, before I bring in Nilante Vanderpoy on this matter, the very first passage, or if like paragraph of the statement from the NPP gives me cause to worry. Now, it states that the New Patriotic Party, NPP, has with immediate effect annulled the purported constituency executive elections conducted over the weekend in certain constituencies on the grounds that the elections were conducted in flagrant disregard of party directives, the rules and regulations governing the 2026 constituency executive elections, and where applicable, subsisting court orders. Flagrant disregard of party directives. So if at the constituency level we're able to disregard national, that should also give you cause for worry.
It is not disregard national. We are saying that in contravention of some of the guidelines. The guidelines stated who was qualified to vote at the polling station level for us to get our polling station executives. It went on to state who were qualified to vote at the electoral area level. Up onto national. It is clear. And that is available. Everybody is. But like I said, it is competition. People thought that, and sometimes, look, even those of us who were organizing, within a constituency, the team that will go into the electoral area to conduct the polling station executive, none of them was eligible to subsequently stand for elections within the constituency. All of that. But you'll find out that because it's competition, somebody still wants to be either a coordinator or a constituency executive, but still goes to. So subsequently, when these things come up, it brings this sort of tension in the constituency. And so these are some of the issues we have to deal with. And when you say in contravention with court orders and all of that, you see, when you go to court, there are stakeholders within these elections. There is the Electoral Commission, there's the security services, there is a team that is supposed to be conducting the elections. In every case, there is a national rep, there's a regional rep, there is a chairman of the Council of Elders, there's the chairman of the Council of Patrons, a research and elections officer in the constituency, and the IT officer in the constituency. Those people and also an elderly woman. An elderly woman within the constituency. These people form the elections committee in the constituency. When you have explored all the internal mechanisms to have a specific issue addressed, and you're unable to, then you can go to the court. We encourage members of the party, and that's what the party constitution or guideline says, that before you go to the court, you should have exhausted all the internal mechanisms to have whatever grievance you have resolved. But when, you go to the ultimate, the court, whether the court will serve the EC, whether it will serve, even, you see, sometimes some of these petitions even go to the constituency executive, and it's a wrong body. If I am a member of the elections committee in a constituency, but I don't have any court order, so I go ahead. Sometimes people go to serve either the regional chairman or regional secretary. Fortunately or unfortunately, Nominations have been opened today, even at the regional level. So for the people who used to manage the party at the regional level, their mandate has expired. So we have now a committee looking at putting in a new regional executive. So when you go to serve the regional chairman today, whether or not it is the point where you have to serve, he is not a member of the committee. If as a member of the elections committee in the particular constituency, this has not been brought to my notice, I will go on to conduct the elections. And so sometimes some of these things happen, whether or not there were even instances where some of these have been served on the electoral commission. They probably will say, well, we see it's been served on, so we are not going to turn up for the elections. But me as a member, I am conducting the elections. I am a member of the committee. If the EC refuses to come, whether or not I have the gravitas to go on, that is where NEC is addressing. And it's very normal. No such processes could have taken place in the past without this petty. But I'm saying, and I'm saying again, of the 276 constituencies, I think the outstanding ones are like 23. And it's something that I think that, look, we will pat ourselves on the back to say that we have been able to do over 250 constituencies. It is a very good job. It shows that the NPP is still on its feet, and we are poised to win elections 2020, whether or not Neil Van der Poel is the chairman of the NDC. That is our case.
Inshallah. Honorable Van der Poel, what do you make of how the NPP has been conducting its own internal elections all the way up until this constituency level? Should we be concerned even as it continues to climb to regional and to national?
Well, let me first say that as a Ghanaian, I should be concerned. But ordinarily, I will have said the Akan proverb say, "Appoint you niko yini meko." Na if you free, see why? You see, under normal circumstances that will have been, but I'm concerned because it also takes something away from our political development. And in as much as I am NDC, it is my wish that all political organizations and political parties in this country will develop so that ultimately we can develop our democracy. What has happened is not something that is, let me say, is new as far as the MPP is concerned. If consistently you follow their historical thing, you know that anytime they having constituency elections, there is always this drama. But happening in their stronghold is one factor that you must look at. The reason being that people think that in Ashanti region, once you become a parliamentary candidate of that of the MPP, you are automatically a member of parliament. So the anxiety and the determination of the people involved, the stakeholders, is always very, very keen. And as such, I was expecting the party to take steps a little more. They shouldn't have looked at Ashanti region like the way they would have looked at any other region. Be more interested in the outcome of the constituency elections in Ashanti region. The same I would say for maybe the NDC when it comes to constituency elections in the Volta region and other parts of the country where the party is strong. So then strategically you look at those areas and let me say incentivize your security measures and activate all the mechanisms you can use in order to minimize possible violence that will come up. And in such a situation, what is happening in parts of the Ashanti region is the fact that there is still the push and pull factor of their presidential primaries in those constituencies. There is this determination to throw out all people who are perceived not to be Baumia in the various constituencies.
Really?
Yes, it's there. Intelligence have it. So there is so much.
Is that the NDC intelligence?
Well, my intelligence. so that the issue of people who will be voting in the parliamentary primaries, possibly people who are also in line, that people who will be contesting for the national executive positions are people who will be in line. So they want it to be that the whole party structure from the ward for the branch, to the ward, to the constituency, to the region, to the national, should be Bawumia.
It is not true.
Because
in my constituency chairman, who did not support Bawumia, he went unopposed. In my constituency, openly, everybody knows him. He did not support Bawumia. He went unopposed. He didn't even get competition.
Ashanti region.
Oh. Even there, I can point out to you.
You see, they
significant chairman who did not support Bawumia, but they are going unopposed and all of that.
They have interests. The fact that they don't want any parliamentary candidate. They don't want anyone who possibly will be emerging as a regional executive to be somebody who will be perceived as a renegade. Oh, yes. And this is something that they are working up. When you discuss issues with some of the even some of the city MPs, they tell you the stress and the tension they are going through because there are plans to unseat them because they are seen not to be favorable to the cause of Bawumia. So these tensions are there. If you look at the constituencies that are mentioned, you will see from even leading up to the presidential elections, we all knew what happened in Bantama. You understand? The fight between Asenso Boache and Kennedy Japan. We knew. Well, we saw it. It was open. It was nasty. That Kennedy's brother even had an open confrontation with Asenso Boache.
He contested Asenso in the run-up to 2020
and lost.
In the primaries.
Yes, so you should know.
Fair.
This is still there. It's not been dissolved. In Efija Sechere, you know, we all know the interest of. Why are you snapping on my leg? In Efija Sechere, we all know the interest of Oketechia Afrifa in the constituency. He's made it clear that he's going to contest. And so when he sits down and know that the way the constituency elections is going is not favorable to him, he will do whatever he has to do to make sure that he gets a sort of advantage. And
within the framework.
Yes. And so that is there. We know Adansa Sokwa. We're not interested still. Eketi Amont has an interest.
Does he want to contest again?
Hey, didn't you hear him? That he has rented out the seat to the NDC. He's coming back for it.
Governor Tahir.
So these are cases that are obvious. What makes it so significantly difficult for me to comprehend is what happened. The violence that happened in the Efija Sechere. It's so bad. Look, I don't know. Right? I don't know why this person who says is an influencer, this person who recently said he's gone out to get a master's degree in law and the rest, he sits on TV to castigate people, to insult people, to tell people that he's the most intelligent and wisest person in the country. Why he get himself involved in this? Go to the place with macho men, confront the police, use firearm. Oh, why would the people, his own people, why would his own people, somebody who is a lawyer and sees himself as all in all in Asanteman, why would the people themselves turn against him and almost lynch him? Do you understand? It tells
the
you.
video I saw him and the police. I didn't see the people.
No, you should have the media houses covered people, the witnesses and things. And people said, Obeye Niamo Hunsam.
Niamo.
Yes, in some. You understand? Akakabin Sam. Those are the words they use. Akakabin Sam, Niamo Hunsam. You have the
BA background.
You understand? So this is something that we must. And Oketechia Afrifa will not have the mandate to do what he did if he did not have the support. If he don't have the support of certain people and certain figures at the national level or within the system.
He does?
Yeah, I'm sure. Because I heard what one lawyer, for example, the party lawyer, said. I listened to him. And what mandate has he got? If there is a court, there's what do you call it? An injunction. Are you the one who's supposed to enact the injunction? You understand? You don't have the mandate to say there's an injunction that the election should be go to. I went there to stop this thing from happening. It's like I just have in the brother's case. You understand? When there is an injunction, are you the one to go to the house and go and serve the injunction? All these things sometimes take something away from who you are. Right. So I think that I like Hussein said, I will say generally, I want to commend them for a successful elections in the various constituency, especially in my constituency, Ododo. It was peaceful. Wow. It was nice. But they've just elected one of the weakest executives I've ever seen.
No.
And please.
Chairman Bodi has experience. At this time, it's going to be complemented by Crunchy. Crunchy as a secretary in the constituency.
This is where you were supervising, right?
I started off.
Crunchy is our boy. Crunchy is our boy.
Oh, it's our friend. It's our friend, and we know.
You know the thing is that even in the last elections,
the
last elections,
just elect them all.
You know, the last elections, the president 2024, their candidate was one of a former youth organizer, branch youth organizer.
But people move.
No, we always will feed you. We always give you. We give us fair.
Let's do
it. And he said something. Let me tell you, Husseini. Look, if you people know what is happening, you wear helmet. There's no way you have, look, the strategy, the skill, the knowledge with which I submerged you in spite of gunshots, machetes and things in Ododo is going to be the same. At the national level. It's not going to happen.
I can appreciate the fact and where you sit now. So that one.
Talk to me briefly about NDC elections and the new polls that are out.
Is it the presidential or the party?
Well, okay, so there's the presidential, which polls puts Johnson Asiedu Nketia ahead of Ato Forson, and then there's the the executive, national executive, on which puts Honorable Van der Poel ahead of his colleagues.
Why would you want to discuss this when I'm sitting here?
Okay, but I also heard another poll that said that from the same Global Info Analytics. This is not to give any credence, but I mean this is what I heard, that over 60% of NDC voters or so, or NDC voters I think, want Asiedu Nketia to remain as party chairman rather than a presidential candidate. And in the face of what we have, it just throws everything up in the sky for grabs. Asiedu Nketia, we all know, he is an institution within the NDC. In fact, even in Ghanaian politics, I mean. And you would expect that he will be able to carry the NDC along because of his association and his organizations over the years. But you see, in politics, sometimes what we politicians miss is that, do the people want you as a party chairman or a president? I can appreciate the fact that the appearance of Asiedu Nketia over the last couple of months is changed significantly. This time he wears very nicely cut suits. His appearance in public alone this time. Not too long ago, I saw him sitting somewhere in public with his phone, taking selfies and all of that. He looks more presidential, I must admit.
Oh, he does?
Away from the Asiedu Nketia that we have known. But you see, when you look at these polls, all along it's put Ato Forson ahead of all of them. All of a sudden, Asiedu Nketia is ahead. For us, the New Patriotic Party, we do not care whoever the NDC presents. 2028, Ghanaians are there. You see, the fourth thing we're supposed to discuss this morning was in Nkukor Nketia. When the Minister of Agric himself admits that because of the nutritional deficiency in the people who are undertaking the policy in Nkukor Nketia, they've eaten all the chicken. And we want Yoko to take up the matter because we think that they have caused financial loss to the state. When we decide to run a policy like in Nkukor Nketia and be selective in who gains or who access to the policy, and then down the line, less than 2 years, we are told that the people who were given the chicken have consumed them. it's a problem.
You've managed.
You see, the whole issue of the
together.
NDC elections. Say don't get here. Auto forcing. You see, when it comes to auto forcing, we've seen him. Me, I know him personally. I had the privilege of working with him in Parliament.
Right.
And not everybody would have experienced it. But the problem with auto forcing in our economy, I've said it severally on this platform, that the same macroeconomic stability that we are enjoying, whether or not it's sustainable, it's another thing, because our whole economy is hinged on gold and gold prices, and that's what they are doing.
Very well.
What we need to say, right? Speak to any minister, be it Minister of Education, Minister of Agri, Minister of Roads. I hear there's something happening because of some machinations.
You are hearing things, pal.
Of course, I am a politician. I should hear things. See, not too long ago. See the rift between Eric Opoku, Honorable Eric Opoku, and Auto Forcing because of disbursement to the agriculture. And so with all the ministries, and it will fly in our faces.
Thank you.
They cannot keep it. Look, listen, it's like pregnancy.
Very
well.
Thank you.
I don't envy the NDC.
You see, let me say this. Global Info Analytics have said that whoever NDC presents in 2028 will beat Baumia. And that is a fact. So if we present Nana Boateng sitting here as our candidate, he will still beat Baumia.
What Global Info Analytics misses is that the NDC that we know today will not be the same as the same NDC post their elections.
Well, I don't know.
Because elections are potential. We've seen the Guzitano.
No, will our colors change?
Of this one.
No, will our colors change?
We've seen the
will the symbol change?
No, but I'm telling you, we've seen the Zebedes of the NDC. We've seen the Guzitanos of the NDC.
Let's hear from him. Let's hear from him.
You see, so I am not really concerned about who the NDC presents for the presidential slot in 2028.
Because you are convinced you are winning.
We are convinced we are winning. But then we are not complacent.
We'll
work hard to maintain the unity and the formidable stand of the party as we go into elections. We are going to go through our constituency, regional, national elections, elect constituency executives, elect regional executives, elect national executives who will hold the party together, who work at the base of the party, because elections are not held at the national level. Elections are held at the constituencies and at the polling stations. We finished considerably 95% of our branch elections, and it's been very peaceful in all our branches, and very, very good. People have been elected.
I heard the turnout is pretty low.
The turnout is pretty low.
But
that is even a branch. How many people vote in a branch? So when we have a strong party, it doesn't really matter who we present ultimately as our presidential candidate, because that presidential candidate will write on the structure of the party. At the constituency level, it's more important. To me, what happens at the branch and the constituency level is more important, because every branch is coterminous with the polling station. So if we have strong branch executives, they will make the party strong in that polling station, and then the constituency and the region. So I'm concerned more about what we shall do. Now we finish with the branch elections. We want to have a very successful and strong constituency, and I'm seeing the number of people who are putting themselves up for constituency: lawyers, doctors, professors. People, the professional, it excites me. It means that the party is going through some level of reform to have people who can really consistently work with the others in the party.
Honorable, thank you. Thank you. Unfortunately, we'll have to leave it here. Honorable Neelanthi Vandapoy.
I wish a speedy recovery to Ketechia FIFA.
Yeah. And Honorable Alhaji Hussein Issa, thank you also. This has been the news review segment on Breakfast Daily. I am Nana Tufo Boateng.
This July, get ready for stories that will make your heart race. From love and passion to secrets and lies that can ruin everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m, Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m, Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m, and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m. Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus, Channel 133 on DSTV.
Every day, we make choices. Some big, some small.
What would you be doing today? I want this or...
Every day, we make choices. And sometimes, choices that shape our hearts.
Hi.
Whether it's a long-term or short-term decision. The Lydia Ranger gives you the power to truly decide. With Lydia, you truly decide.
In today's fast-paced African business landscape, human resources is no longer just a support function. It's the strategic heartbeat of your organization. Are you prepared to lead that change and redefine your professional impact? Welcome to the HR Connect Conference 2026. This year, we are diving deep into our professional theme, from certification to competence. Why elevating HR is critical for business growth and competitive advantage in Africa. We are profoundly honored to host our guest of honor, His Majesty the Gamanche, King Takite Churu II, alongside our distinguished guest speaker, Honorable Haruna Pelpo. Over 2 transformative days at the prestigious Labadi Beach Hotel, you will go far beyond traditional theory. We have curated an immersive experience designed to challenge your thinking and sharpen your edge. You will have the opportunity to participate in our expert-led masterclass sessions, including personal branding and mastery, the CDAT compensation and benefits masterclass, our critical labor law masterclass, and the forward-looking SHRP future of work masterclass. Beyond the masterclasses, you will gain rare, high-level perspectives during our exclusive C-suite sessions, engage in intimate fireside chats, and participate in our interactive table talk sessions focusing on HR mentorship mastery and the latest in HR tech. Proudly partnered by CDAT Consult and SHRP, this is the premier gathering for HR professionals ready to shape the future of our industry. Mark your calendars for July 30th and 31st, 2026, starting 9 a.m. sharp each day. Elevate your practice, drive your business. Join us at the HR Connect Conference 2026. We look forward to connecting with you there. From across Ghana to the heart of Tamale, the very best of made in Ghana products, services, innovation, education, enterprise, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate organizations are all coming together at one exciting event. The Northern Business Fair 2026, your one-stop destination to discover, shop, connect, network, and explore new business opportunities in Northern Ghana. Whether you are an entrepreneur, investor, student, business owner, or consumer, this is where Ghanaian excellence meets opportunity. Join us on Saturday 25th and Sunday 26th July 2026 at Jubilee Park Tamale from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Are you ready to showcase your business to the nation and beyond? Call 0205-973-973 now and secure your spot. The Northern Business Fair 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from City FM, and it's proudly sponsored by EcoBank, the National Petroleum Authority, and the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. The Northern Business Fair 2026, your market, your connections, your growth.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's still a beautiful day, and it's still Breakfast Daily right here on Channel 1 TV. And as you all know, Nana Tufo Boati started up the show with his panel as they dissected some topics that are shaping the nation politically, and I'm sure you enjoyed it. But now we are getting into lighter and, more sparking entertainment, and that is what we do on the second part of the show, where we get into our communities and we also look at other things like interviews and also even talk about our health and all that. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not doing this alone today. Sitting in for Wahab is today David.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Oh, sis.
Today is an all-female thing, right?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Oh, sis.
Oh, sis. I'm sure sis is watching us right now. Shout out to sis, Magdalene
Shout out to
Williams. But yeah, so it's an all-female thing this morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, sis?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine, thank you. Excited to be here.
But wait, let me say good morning to our viewers. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for welcoming us into your homes, your offices, and wherever you're watching from. I am Dede Davis, and don't forget that you can be part of the show, and so do well to send in your messages to 020-447-033. I take it again, 020-447-033, and we'll get to read it right here on the show.
All right, and obviously,
Chris, how was your weekend? Your night?
My night was great. It was a beautiful one because I was watching the match at the gym.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was doing two things I love: watching the match and working out at the same time. So yes, it's always a good time working out.
Nice.
But yeah,
anyway, there's something on my mind though. You know, before we came in, I was asking you about graduation, as to whether you experienced any. I didn't. You know Saito.
Oh, yeah.
You know Saito. I went to Saito, and during my time, there was nothing like graduation.
Yeah.
So you just, after your last paper, your teacher can decide to do something small for the class, and then you all go to your homes. But in other schools, they had the opportunity to do graduations. And there's been a conversation about it as to whether it should be banned. Some are saying it's a milestone that is worth celebrating.
It's actually a milestone worth celebrating. I graduated so many times in my life. I graduated so many times in my life, and yes, I did in primary, I did in secondary, and I feel like it's something that should not be banned because, like you said, it's a milestone to, wow, we have worked so hard, so let's celebrate this day. Wow, we have worked so hard, and there are people that have, are top of, the class, the subjects, the valedictorians. So in high school, we actually had valedictorians and salutatorians too, just like in uni. So we did that in high schoal. So it actually motivates the next class to say, okay, I want to be, I want to be that person next year. So it motivates the people that are yet to be in your class. Do you understand? So I feel what should be banned is the exuberant gifting, because in my time there was nothing like that, and now too in some international schools you don't see things like that. You're not seeing, there are graduation ceremonies, but you're not seeing anybody gifting anybody exuberantly. So I don't know why it's
all of a sudden,
So I feel like graduation, it's a beautiful thing. Celebrate the class, celebrate the school, celebrate people who have worked so hard to, get to a certain stage. Celebrate the people who have worked so much in maths, in English, in sports, who have topped up the class. So even that time we were doing the home, 4.0 GPA system, even in high school too. So if you get 4.0 throughout,
it's a flex.
You know that you're a valedictorian.
I tell you.
Like in grade 12, everybody's fighting. I need to be the valedictorian. I need to be the salutatorian. So after the valedictorian speech, there's a salutatorian speech. So everybody's fighting. So I feel like it should not be taken away, but what should be controlled is the parents. Parents, you can do your thing at home. And I understand, because of this now, I didn't understand why schools didn't celebrate birthdays, but now I understand. Now I understand why a lot of schools do not celebrate birthdays. Because if we're trying to make it an inclusive environment, then everybody or every child has to feel the same. have to feel safe, have to feel confident in wanting to come back to school. Nobody should compare themselves to anybody. Nobody should compare their parents to anybody. That affects the child psychologically, emotionally, and you know, in even academically, because they'll be thinking like, oh, my parent can't get this for me, but this person can get this for their parent, you know. So I think it should be celebrated, but just watched.
The way and manner in which it's organized.
But congratulations to everybody that has finished their last class and going into another class in September. Congratulations to all you all.
Let us know what you also think. Should it be banned? Is it something worth celebrating? Send in your messages to the WhatsApp number 020-4447-033, 020-4447-033. Now, next week, Saturday and Sunday, is the Northern Business Fair.
But before we go into that, let's look around. The weather, the clouds are forming. Ladies and gentlemen, the weather forecast by the Ghana Meteorological Agency. All right, so this is an 18-hour forecast for Ghana, valid from 6 a.m. today. And this is the summary of today's weather brought to you by the Ghana Meteorological Agency. So the day will begin with patches of mist or fog over some coastal and mountainous and forest areas, which may reduce visibility. As the morning gives way to the afternoon, a mixture of sunshine and clouds is expected across most places in the country. A few coastal areas may see brief spells of slight rain or drizzle during the afternoon. Later in the day, from late afternoon into the evening, isolated thunderstorms or rain are likely over parts of the forest, transition and northern sectors. The state of the sea will be rough today. So ladies and gentlemen, this is from the Ghana Meteorological Agency. And remember, you can follow them on all social media platforms. They're on YouTube, they're on X, they're on TikTok, and they're on WhatsApp. On TikTok, on WhatsApp, they actually have a channel, so you can stay updated with everything that they are putting out there. And like I always like to add, if you do not follow them, or if you have done this and also want to be double sure, always want to double check, please download a weather app on your phone too, and you can follow it so you can arrange your day as the days go by.
All right, now that we've checked out the weather forecast, I mentioned that next week, Saturday and Sunday, the biggest fair in the northern region, and I'm talking about the Northern Business Fair, will be very, very, very live. And so SMEs, entrepreneurs, investors, innovators, industry leaders, this is that moment to come together, to connect, exhibit, network, and unlock new business opportunities. So whether you're looking to grow your brand as a business, build valuable partnerships, then the Northern Business Fair is the place to be from the 25th to the 26th of July 2026 at the Jubilee Park, Tamale, and it's starting at 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. If you still have that opportunity to be part of the fair, and so do well to call 0205 973 973 and book a slot get your slot and be part of the biggest fair in the northern region. The northern region has a lot to offer, and I entreat you to go there and discover for yourself some business opportunities that you would love to be part of. And would like to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, the National Petroleum Authority, EcoBank, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and the newest kid on the block, North Shore Apparel Ghana Limited. Thank you so much for coming on board to bring to Ghana and the northern region this beautiful fair. Chris, what else do you have for us?
All right, so reading actually unlocks knowledge, and when you write, you can put that knowledge on paper, but critical thinking actually unlocks the future, and that is why we're bringing you the Literacy Challenge 2026, and I'm sure you're excited about it. It happens every year, but this year it's going to be big and better, because the grand prize to be won is 10,000 Ghana cedis, a laptop, and of course the bragging right for the whole year till the next Literacy Challenge shows up. But now, to be part of this, remember, this is for pre-secondary school students, and the eligibility ages are from 11 to 15 years only. Now, the topic, or the entry topic, I would call it, is in not less than 600 words, write a letter to the Minister of Education as a young consultant discussing the advantages and disadvantages of the use of artificial intelligence, that's AI, in education. Advise on how Ghana can effectively integrate AI into basic schools to improve teaching and learning, while ensuring that students in rural and underserved communities are not left behind. And now remember that there are guidelines to this, and the guidelines are essays must be handwritten by the participants. Don't forget to add your full contact details, which include your names and all your numbers and everything there. Must be endorsed by parents, guardian, or teacher. And now, if you are sending your letter from outside Accra, the best thing for you to do is use the post system. And that is, send it to the Literacy Challenge, P.O. Box, GP 14123, Accra Central. The Literacy Challenge, P.O. Box, GP 14123, Accra Central. Or deliver it to Channel 1 TV premises, especially for those in Accra. And Channel 1 TV premises is here at Tessano. But if you want to ask for more information, call the number 0205-973-973, and someone will be there to listen to you. But I want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, Prospectus Ghana Limited, SIC Insurance, and Advocate Publishing for holding us down.
That's the Literacy Challenge for you. I can't wait. And Chris, this year we've expanded it, and so every region in the country gets to be part of this year's challenge. So if you're a child in any part of the country at all, the northern region, Greater Accra, Central region, Western region, Volta region, Eastern region, wherever you are in this country, please do well to enter this challenge and be part of this year's Literacy Challenge. Now, the Blanksons, due to the World Cup, we couldn't bring you the Blanksons as we wished to. And so we are backtracking a little. Today, we are bringing you the episode 9 of the Blanksons. And what is in episode 9? Kobe, the son of Mr. Blankson and Mrs. Blankson, dreams of, becoming rich, get rich quicker. And so that's what episode 9 is about. Kobe dreams of becoming rich overnight and ignores his parents' advice about school. Convinced he's found the perfect smart money deal, he invests in an online scheme called VD Finance Network, even trying to sell family furniture for cash. But when Uncle T, a cybersecurity expert, visits and exposes the company as a scam, Kobe realizes he has been duped. Humiliated but wiser, he vows to invest in silence next time, only for Peria to remind him to try investing in school instead. So yes, that's the Blank Sense for you. Episode 9 will be airing today, exactly 7:30 p.m. on Channel 1 TV, and the repeat days, if you miss it today, don't worry, you can catch it on Friday, tomorrow 11:30 a.m., on Saturday 7 p.m., Sundays 4:30 p.m., Tuesdays 3 p.m., Wednesdays 5:30 p.m. and catch the Blank Sense if you missed it today. And we'd like to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, Nasco Electronics, thank you so much. Alice Insecticide Spray, Everpack, and of course Lily Rice for holding us down.
All right, and the community kickoff is still on Channel 1 TV. And for all football lovers, we know that the World Cup is still on, but we have something exciting that comes out of the communities. And obviously, you know, the communities are places that a lot of footballers actually spring out from. And it has happened here so many times in Ghana. So we're taking you to the communities for the community kickoff, where we are going to be experiencing grassroots football, the excitement, the thrill, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything that happens right there for stars to actually spring out. And it happens every Tuesday at 5:30 right here at Channel 1 TV. So you definitely do not want to miss it. So you put it on your reminder, Tuesday 5:30. Let's go kick some football at the community kickoff.
Now, Channel 1 TV and Zondertech Ghana Limited will be bringing to you the Auto Sale and Expo. If you want to discover a wide range of Zondertech automobiles designed to deliver power, efficiency, and durability on every road, then you should be at this Auto Sale and Expo from the 13th to the 14th of August 2026 at the Zondertech showroom in Jowulu, and it starts at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. If you want more information on this expo, how you can be part of it, please call 0205 973 973 0205 973 973. Maybe Chris and I will go and grab maybe the blue one.
The Haval. Let's call it Haval.
Maybe we'll just pass through and then grab that. But yeah, call 0205 973 973 and be part of the Auto Sale and Expo. Up next is What's Trending. All right, so let's get into our trends. Let's check out what is happening on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, you name it. And today, quite interesting things are happening in the trends. Now, the National Identification Authority has announced that it is now an offense to photocopy Ghana cards for transactions. So, according to the Executive Secretary of the National Identification Authority, Wisdom Yaira Koku-Deku, biometric verification of the Ghana card is now mandatory for all transactions that require identity authentication. The National Identification Authority said the new measures are intended to strengthen the Ghana card's role as a secure means of identity verification, improve the integrity of authentication processes, and reduce the risk associated with the use of photocopies or visual inspection of identity cards. Chris, what do you make of this?
Well, they know what's best, and I think we just have to follow their directives at this point. But at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of institutions are used to photocopying because they need to have an idea of or record of who came and did what transaction. So if that's going to happen, I think the best thing for them to do is actually find a way to work with institutions. And at the same time, that might mean giving them access into their database. And giving them access into their database can also be very dangerous because anybody that has access into the database, forget the institutions now, this is just about human beings, but not institutions. Anyone that has that kind of database can do anything. Anything.
Yeah.
Anything. So they just have to find a better way to, you know, resolve this or make the institutions understand better. Or it's either if I give you access into the database, if there's a way that all you do is just read only and not edit, or not, you know, do any other thing with it, then great. Because I feel like human beings are funny. This is not just about the institutions again, but human beings in general are funny. And giving such database to people can be also dangerous. So I think it needs to be rethought.
Well, I think it's good too, because it would also reduce the congestion in the banking halls. When I was at the bank, one of the things that always caused traffic in the banking halls was this Ghana
Right, your
card.
photocopy machines don't work.
Yeah, not necessarily, because you would have to do a photocopy first, and then you would also have to verify the card in the system, and that takes forever. I don't know if it's changed, but that was one thing that's caused a lot of traffic in the banking hall when I used to be at the bank.
I honestly thought that after your card is done, when you go to the bank and you put your fingerprint on it, then you are verified.
But now you have to
I honestly
photocopy
thought
it
that.
and then attach it to, if it's a check, you attach it to the check. If it's whatever document it is, you attach it to that document as proof that you have the identification card. So yeah, I think let's see how they roll it out. But I'm also thinking about the Momo vendors, how this is going to
they don't need photocopy.
Affect them.
They never
but
use
they said
photocopy.
all transactions.
Well, yeah, but they don't use photocopy.
But they also have to verify your card, and even
no, they don't do photocopy.
No, they don't do photocopy. But if you want to do a transaction, you have to some request for your Ghana card.
Never.
Or you've not experienced it, but
No,
yeah.
they just say, "Give me." But the forex bureaus, they ask for your Ghana card. But the other ones, what's the name on the account? And that's it. And life goes on. But yeah, I think it really needs to be thought through, actually, because like I said, it's also going to be hard to give access to such database to just anybody.
Yeah.
And they have to find ways to make it like a read-only sort of file, and nobody can edit, nobody can add or deduct things in it. Anyway, we have comments on this. Let's check out the comments, and then we can go through the next. Gali Gideon Hilson is saying, how does this work? So do we leave our Ghana cards at home when we go out? Why are you leaving it at home? What is the use of the card if not confirmation of citizenship? How do you confirm that it's not a visual, if not a visual inspection? Kojo Bwedu is saying, so those phones companies doing installments, pay 40% and pay later, come with your Ghana card. I mean, you can come with the Ghana card. Trinebwa Kudwa III is saying enforcement will be key here. Dawson Bendiv, we've updated our details with banks, yet every time, exactly, this is my point.
And this is what causes a lot of congestion in the bank.
It's supposed to be updated like, automatically to the banks, to all these people, to the institutions, that's it. So we've already updated our details with the bank, yet every time they still want to photocopy our Ghana cards. Desin Owusu is saying, Dennis, I think that is cool because it has ID numbers. The bank can just take that, but still, unless they do photocopy. Emmanuel Simons is saying the stress at banking halls will be reduced. Emmanuel Nanao Poko one is saying, and who does that fine go to? Because it's my card, so it should be either 50-50 of it. It's either 50-50 of it should come to me.
Interesting.
Atop Paints is saying, in my opinion, I think the law should allow to see the hard copy card before biometric checks. I mean, that's what it should be. But Nana Barrister is saying, don't tell us, caution the institutions, because at the end of the day, you can't refuse the photocopy, else you won't be attended to. And that's true. That's true, because I cannot enter the bank and they'll tell me I want to do a photocopy and I have to remind them that, NIA has said this. Nobody will listen to you, actually. So I think they just need to find a better way to do things.
Yeah, I mean, they've mentioned that in the coming days they would roll out some measures or tell us how they intend to.
Well, you see, what I'm understanding is that what the Ghana card intended to do, or what the NIA's plan with this whole Ghana card thing, was that you have your card, I show you my card, you put in the details, or you check the fingerprints and my details show up, and that's it. But somehow, I feel like some of these institutions are not getting it.
Yeah.
It's still not working for them in that sense. So that is why they demand, okay, I need this, and I still need to photocopy it. Because if I put in my details via my fingerprint, you should be able to copy it. You should be able to save it if you're using a computer. But somehow, I don't know. Good for them.
Anyway, let's see how they roll that out. What else do you have in your trends?
So Argentina beat England yesterday. Like I said, I was in the gym yesterday and I was watching.
You don't seem too excited about it.
I don't seem too excited. I don't really care about this match. Like I said yesterday, I don't really care. Anybody could have won and I'll still be the same. My face will still have a poker face. Like, I don't really, but it was a beautiful match. It was a beautiful match, especially with the comeback. Like I always say, like when I see good sports, I appreciate it. It's beautiful, So it was a beautiful comeback for me. I didn't expect 2 goals all at once or in those short minutes, but Argentina did their thing. And obviously, I see why they call Messi the GOAT now. He's a team player.
Yeah.
And that's one important thing. It's not somebody that is just searching for goals alone, or I want to be the one that scores it, but he's the one that also makes that happen by being a team player. And I think this is what leadership is all about.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, my highlights of the game was that cross to Martinez. Beautiful goal. And Messi predominantly plays with his left, but that cross came with his right. And it was the precision for me. Like it went straight to him. He heads it into the net, and that was the concluding part of the game. And that was a good one. So kudos to them. Let's see. I think Spain will beat Argentina.
Obviously. Now, if you ask me who will I support, now I have someone to tell you. Spain. La España, viva la España.
Español, I think they will
So
beat
I think it's going to be a very interesting match because both teams actually play good football. Like, I have been watching the whole World Cup game, but what really caught my attention in all the matches was France against Spain. And apart from the Cabo Verde match is always number one. But getting to this stage, the Spain-France match is, it was a beautiful one to behold too. So I really can't wait to see what Spain is going to be bringing to the table when it comes to meeting Argentina. And also, we also can't wait to see the third place game.
To be fair, England did well. They did
are
their
going
best.
to meet France.
Yeah, I mean, they did their best. The only unfortunate part of the game was the unnecessary substitution Thomas made in the game, which disoriented the entire team. But they did their best. 10 or something fouls, and Argentina 15 fouls. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. Anyway, let's check out some comments. Zoe 2007 says, if you strip the last 2 letters of Messi, you get mess. Looks like even the holy game can get a little chaotic. Salako says, at 39, he gathered the top players in the world, all in their prime, and has put them through a 1-month masterclass. The England game was so crucial that the Messiah came down from heaven to watch. The Messiah was equally in awe that he kept shouting, Messi, ah. Interesting. Ja Leto says, thank God for letting me live in the era of watching Messi play football. Lord, I'm truly grateful. Daniel says, This same Argentina were made to look distinctively average by Cabo Verde. Egypt and Switzerland, they are a mediocre team with an overhyped Messi. Spain will walk all over them. Oh, are you sure, Daniel? Switzerland, with 10 men for over 40 minutes, had more possession than England. That says everything. Laurie Whitwell says that Argentina game was a generational chance for a collective moment. Instead, it will linger for all the wrong reasons. For Kobe Mainu, yeah, Kobe Mainu, I don't know. Why was he on bench? Kobe Mainu not to get a minute at the World Cup, given his technique at keeping possession, is a waste. Bayern and Germany says, that's Thomas Müller. He says, I cannot believe and understand how England approached this game after they are leading. I cannot understand how they invited Argentina to play one cross after the other in perfect crossing positions. Yeah, and that's the final comment. So that the crossing I was talking about earlier, Chris, that was a beautiful one. Like, if they had missed that one, they'll go back. But yeah, it was a good one. What else do we have in the trends, Chris?
Interestingly,
some exciting one.
Yeah, we have there. I don't know if you follow social media a lot, you will know that in Kenya there are some grannies that actually play football. They call the football grannies. So basically, these grannies in Kenya that play football actually won their own World Cup, and they want to call it World Cup for Grannies. So in Miani, a rural village in Kenya where women aged between 50 and 80 gather to play soccer, they do this to stay healthy and build a strong community as part of the group called Miani Soccer Grannies. And these women are proving that sport is for all. And they now want their own World Cup game. But then again, if you're doubting the authenticity of this, you got to see for yourself. So let's just watch this video.
We are hoping as women that one day we'll have a World Cup for grannies. We've been watching World Cup, and you know, it is so good to see them playing. We are hoping as women that one day we'll have a World Cup for grannies. We've been watching World Cup, and you know, it is so good to see them playing.
All right, I think this is actually a very interesting one. Maybe not the World Cup, but this is actually beautiful to behold, and it also helps women stay healthy because some sort of sports actually protects the women from some diseases like osteoporosis and arthritis and all that. So to see women doing this, I'm really, not just women, grannies doing this, 50 to 80. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, like you said, maybe not the World Cup, but maybe a different tournament for them to...
Maybe an AFCON.
Yeah, for grannies. Go grannies.
No, let's call it GRAFCON.
Yeah.
A granny AFCON.
It will be beautiful. And I like the fact that in their own way, they are trying to stay healthy, keep up. I mean, you're a women's health advocate, and you know what it means for women to stay healthy, prevent some diseases and all that.
And also what I like about this actually builds community. You understand? Because it gets to a certain age that women get lonely. It gets very lonely. Yeah. But then again, you have your teammates, you have your team members. At least if you have nothing to talk about, you are talking about when is the next practice.
Yeah.
Did you see that cross? I played like Messi.
There's always something to talk about.
I played like Bellingham.
Yeah.
Call me Grandma Bellingham. Well, we have comments on this. Let's check out some of the comments. Great. This is by Official C. Reman. Revision on the MD. I can't stop smiling watching this.
Yeah.
It reminds me that health isn't just about medicine. It's also about joy, movement, and community. Samantha Don once say, planting the tree you might never see grow, but for future generations. Yes, yes, yes. I think it's important. V_Don_S. Would be amazing to see my grandma hit the sea.
It would.
Wow!
It would.
Imagine grandma scoring and she hits the seal. But then again, that's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Let's check out the video of the day and we can continue with the show.
Hi, good morning. Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Nothing from here, thank you. No questions. Alright, bye everyone. Bye. Bye everyone. Bye.
But it's true. Let's not lie, it's true. Very unserious people, that is how they act on, virtual meetings.
He didn't hear anything, but he says, yeah, no questions.
Yeah. But anyway.
And we can hear you.
True.
We can hear you. But he's not listening to anything. He's just munching on his apple anyway.
But we still like virtual meetings.
Yeah, yeah.
I listen during virtual meetings.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to meet you. Let's do the virtual meeting. Please don't take this seriously. Just for you to. There are still serious people like us. Please, 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 please. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to get into our communities. Let's take this breather and we'll be back.
You're welcome back. You're still watching Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV. It's time for us to delve into our communities. Today, we are traveling all the way to the central region, precisely Gomwa, Yesu Krom. And what are they saying? Residents are saying that there's an abandoned road project and they want it, they want it solved, they want it constructed. Residents say that the road has significantly deteriorated following recent rains, making transportation difficult and increasing travel times for commuters. They are calling for urgent attention to the project, which they say is crucial for farmers, traders and residents who rely on the road to access markets and essential services. Let's check out this report filed by Akwesiado, our Central Regional Correspondent, and when we return, we'll delve into some conversations.
The Millennium City Junction Gomwa Yesu Krom stretch was awarded on contract in 2016, but construction stalled midway. Part of the road, which was tarred, has completely deteriorated, making traveling on the road unbearable. The pothole-ridden stretch makes every journey a complete nightmare for commuters.
They still
about 20 minutes but 1 hour and more now. Anytime I come here, you see that the road gets deteriorated.
If you are coming here and then you don't have a high car, or if your car is very low, it will give you a problem.
Conveying the critically ill to the hospital becomes frustrating moments. The lives of pregnant women and their unborn babies are always under threat. Several cases of miscarriages have been recorded.
mmaa koraa tena meka mmaa bɛyɛ sɛ fɔ ɔmo nyinaa nyinsɛn obi ɔnyɛ foforɔ apɔne a blood no bi koraa gu me seat so wokɔa wobɛtena sɛ ɛgye yi woma baako koraa dɛ ne kunu koraa ma no afi ha akɔ no maame hɔ sisii
obi ɔkora otumi wo to kaa no so nti abatan no mo blɛ ɔbaa bi ɔbɛtena kaa no magye sɛ oyi ne ba no ansa na
ofetefo ha na ɔmo fa kɔ senyafo ha na ɔmo fa kɔ kulu believe sɛ obi nyim a na sɛ ɔkɔwo a ɛkwan no.
Drivers frequent the shop to change their car parts.
Nti wa ohwe na so watɔ car we o de ama me na me de fa kwan we so ma sa ohwe we ni baje wani nje nti o so mo bu anya drivers no ye kwan ya fa so o wo man mu
contractor ba so be o first good no ye na goods na okwa mabiem en na tutu ai ba sa ye nam so do bai nti sisi e ofie akɔ ka so sisi ya first nka between ya be 30 to 40 minutes ya na 1 hour na echi.
The entire journey from Kasua to Yesu Krom previously cost 12 Ghana cedis, but the recent rains that worsened the situation of the road has caused drivers to hike the fare. Business operators say the impact is huge and the potential of the area, which could become a plush community in the entire Gomoa East district, also being hampered.
Initially, first they take 12 cedis. Now it is 15 cedis. In and out 30 cedis. Assuming you buy 10 1 cedi, and 10 cedis, and you are coming to sell 11 cedis, all your profit to go on transportation. So it is very challenging.
Although omo ma mi sika say me to materials in be your mo adwuma because of plan no yira me phone nti be 2 weeks ni me mba ha biem.
The Pentecost Convention Center, situated in the area, has become a national landmark and plays host to top state officials and national events. But the poor road remains a blot on the center. Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin, in a recent visit to the center, expressed concern and called on stakeholders to fix the road.
And I want to call on all, including myself, to ensure that this road be made a proper road.
Right, so that's a report filed by Akwesi Ado, our Central Regional Correspondent, on the deteriorating nature of Gomoa Yesu Krom Road. He's joining us via Zoom at the moment to better understand what the situation actually is. Good morning, Akwesi.
Good morning, Dede and Grace.
How are you?
Oh, by God's grace, we are well. Hope you are too.
Yes, we are well. It's always nice seeing you.
All right, Akwesi, briefly share your experience with us when you visited Yesu Krom, Gomoa Yesu Krom, to file these reports. What was your experience like?
All right, thank you very much. So it's always been a struggle journeying from Kasua to Gomoa Yesu Krom. But except to say that it is now getting worse as a result of the rains. The road is completely deteriorated and it's virtually impassable. People really struggle. And for a journey that previously took just about 25-30 minutes, now you're doing over an hour. Because you would have to be driving sometimes at 0.02 kilometers per hour because there are potholes everywhere and you have to keep dodging the potholes. And some of them, they measure so deep that regardless of, how much you're able to slow down, you still feel it in your vehicle. And so it is really not a palatable situation having to do the Kasua Gomoa Yesu Krom Road, particularly from the Millennium City Junction to Yesu Krom or the other areas.
All right, so how long has this been like this for?
So in 2016, the road was awarded on contracts. So it was partially constructed from the Millennium City Junction to somewhere around, not even up to the Church of Pentecost from the Millennium City Hospital area. So it got to, let's say, about half of the stretch. And then construction stalled after there was a change in government. And then since then, the contractor is yet to return to site. And we do know that even though this is a well-developed area now, the place is gaining prominence as a result of the Pentecost Convention Center, which is a national monument sitting in the place. And so concerns have been raised times without number, except to say that authorities are yet to take action. And let me even mention that just before the 2024 general elections, former Vice President, His Excellency, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, who paid a visit to the Pentecost Convention Center, actually mentioned that something was going to be done about the road. But since then up to this time, nothing has been done, and commuters are really struggling. This is affecting businesses as well as the social and economic lives of the people living in the area.
Akwesi, are you privy to the reason why this project was stalled?
We have no adequate information about why the project was stalled. It just happened that just one day the contractor packed everything and then left site.
Okay.
And he hasn't returned yet.
Since 2016?
Exactly.
Aside Kaswa, which other communities link to Gomoa Yesu Krom Road?
Okay, so from the Pentecost Convention Center to Gomoa Fete, it's just about 10 minutes drive. And you can also use that area, that particular road, to access Gomoa Nyanyano. So this is a very important road, considering the fact that apart from the Millennium City Enclave rapidly developing, we also have some business establishments in the area. So we have various resorts in the area, and people do visit these resorts because we all know that the Gomoa Fete Enclave really has this kind of beautiful beaches which attracts several people. And so it is really a very important road. So if someone is journeying to Kaswa from, let's say, Senyabreku, Gomoa Fete, Gomoa Ojobi, and they wouldn't want to circumvent or use the main road that is joining the N1 highway from Akuti Junction, this could have served as the best route for the person. Because from Gomoa Yesu Krom, when you hit the Millennium City Junction, just about less than a kilometer ahead, you exit to your right, and then you hit onto the Western Bypass, which takes you to the toll booth in Kaswa. So it means that you might have avoided all the troubles in the Kaswa Business District, and then you can head towards Accra. But because this road is not properly constructed, people now have to still deal with the situation on the main road. And so it really affects people who are traveling. And apart from this, it becomes critical when someone is seriously ill and then needs to be transported to the hospital, because there is no better government health facility in the area. The health facilities that exist in the area are all private. And we do know that not everybody can afford care from private health facilities. So the people rely heavily on the Kaswa Polyclinic and then the Mother and Child Hospital in Kaswa. Right. And according to some of the people we spoke to, there are countless times when pregnant women have suffered miscarriages on the road. And it's really difficult for them. There are also reports of people who have died while they were being transported to the hospital because of the poor nature of the road.
Right. So has this been made aware to any authority?
Exactly. Authorities are aware, both the previous, state officials and then the current state officials. Because the Pentecost Convention Center plays host to national events, you get to have top state officers, including presidents, visiting the area. So just even within this month, I think President John Dramani Mahama has been there. The Minister for Local Government has also been there. The Vice President has been there. We also have the Speaker of Parliament visiting the area quite recently. The Chief Justice also visited. The IGP, head of the prison service and fire service, the Minister of Interior, they've all visited the area quite recently. And so authorities are really aware. And so during a recent event, the Speaker of Parliament, Aban Bagbin, did speak about the fact that the road is in a very deteriorated state, making accessing the enclave quite difficult. And so he called on stakeholders to do something about this. And I am learning that just about yesterday or last 3 days, some set of engineers visited the Pentecost Convention Center to engage management and to also pick drawings and then measure the entire route. And so we are anticipating that construction may resume soon.
All right, thank you very much, Akwesi, for that report. Do have a nice day. Chris, I'm not happy.
Yeah, this is actually a very sad one.
For the fact that it affects pregnant women.
Yeah. It's already bad enough when we talk about maternal health.
Yeah.
But then again, to watch it being caused by roads.
No.
Roads that are supposed to lead them to the hospital.
Since 2016.
Roads that are supposed to lead them to their antenatal classes. You know, it's
unacceptable.
It's unacceptable because, and clearly, this is not just something that we would say it's a small bump on the road. These are manholes.
Yeah.
These are very deep manholes that we are watching here. And apart from that, I'm sure this will affect transportation, the cost of transportation. Apart from the cost of transportation to, when I say the cost of transportation, we're looking at taxis and trotro, but the cost of transportation to individuals, to car owners too, because you're trying to transport to move from one place to the other, but you're also thinking about what will get wrong or what will spoil in my car. And how much does this cost? So imagine every time fixing shocks, especially for car users. The shocks. Imagine changing shocks every 2 months, every 1 month. This is just going to be a lot. And I hope that something can actually be done about this.
Yeah.
This is unacceptable. This is very unacceptable.
For the fact that it's affecting women, Akwesi mentioned, and even in the reports, we heard some of the residents say women have had miscarriages due to the nature of the road. Since 2016 is actually a very long time.
Yes,
we are in 2026. It's a long time to watch this road in this manner. No, it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed.
Anyway, I hope all duty bearers, or maybe 1 or 2 duty bearers, have tuned into this program and are watching it right now. Please, if you are part of the people that are supposed to be taking care of these areas or this region, please do something about it, because those people are also Ghanaians. Those babies that have been lost are also Ghanaians. Those women who have had miscarriages are also Ghanaian. And changing spare parts, all this, it's expensive. You know it's expensive. Anyway, on that expensive note, let's go on a quick break. And when we come back, Doctor in the House will be there. We'll be talking about our health.
Across Africa, food and agribusiness hold the power to transform economies. But potential alone is not enough. That's why Impact Food Hub proudly presents the Agribusiness Launchpad and Accelerator Program, Ghana's premier agribusiness accelerator designed to turn bold food ideas into market-ready brands. At the forefront of this initiative is Dr. Mavis Oreguasare, a renowned food scientist and passionate advocate for food safety and agribusiness innovation. With a track record of empowering entrepreneurs and strengthening food systems, her vision for Launchpad 2026 is bold, practical, and transformative. From August 5th to 7th, participants will gather at the APSA head office in Ridge for an intensive 3-day training designed to equip them with practical knowledge, business skills, and strategies to succeed across the agri-food value chain. The program will be facilitated by seasoned experts with proven expertise in smart and sustainable farming, food product development and value addition, regulatory certification and compliance, digital marketing and brand positioning, financial management, pricing, strategies, and funding access. Participants will also benefit from guided pitch coaching, mentorship with industry leaders, peer networking opportunities, and access to post-program business advisory services. Launchpad 2026 is powered by Impact Food Hub in collaboration with APSA. Supported by APSA Bank, Gruber Diaspora Network, Casma Foods, Yogi Yogurt, Next Computers, Impontu Technologies, Handy Farms, Waysoy, Curate MKTG, and Gold Coast Foods, Herbs and Spices. Media partners, Channel 1 TV and City FM. Whether you're a farmer looking to add value, a youth-led food startup, an agribusiness ready to scale, or food tech innovator, Launchpad 2026 is your gateway to growth, visibility, and impact. Students are especially encouraged to apply and will enjoy a discounted registration fee, making it easier to gain industry knowledge, practical skills, and valuable networking opportunities. For flexibility and wider access, participants can also join virtually or attend in person, ensuring no one misses out regardless of location. Register now at impactfoodhub.npontu.com or dial *899*112# on all networks. For more information, call 025-6899-305. Impact Food Hub. Get to the heart of it. Launchpad 2026. Your agribusiness reimagined.
Hello everyone, this is Doctor in the House right here on Channel 1 TV, and my name is Chris Carter. I'm excited to be here with you today, and I'm sure you are always excited to be here with us too, because it's all about our health. So we get to know things about our health, different conditions, how to manage some that we already have, and also when to get to the hospital. That is why I like to call this show the consultation before the main consultation, that is getting into the hospital. On the other hand, I also like to call it like a mini medical school, because you get to learn words, you get to learn new things, and you have to take notes, especially when you are noticing some symptoms. You see some things and you realize, it's time for me to see a doctor. So Doctor in the House, and the doctor in the house today is Ebo Daniels. He's a director at Solis Hospital, Trade Fair, Accra, and he is also a leading voice in preventive health care in Ghana, focused on shifting the mindset from treating illness to actually preventing it. He also champions the Switch Health movement, switching from health care to preventive health, driving a national shift towards early detection and long-term wellness. I'm sure you are wondering, what are we going to be talking about today? But before I tell you what we're going to be talking about, the show is very interactive. Listen to the topic, and any questions that you have on this topic, send it to us, and the doctor is here to answer all the questions. So now we are going to be looking at how medication or medicine can actually become a problem or can actually cause diseases. Now, we take medicines to get better, we take pills to get better, but sometimes, just sometimes, we overdo them and a lot of complications happen. And now we now start thinking from how to solve one problem to the other, and another one pops out and pops up and pops up and pops up. Well, the doctor is here to tell us how to use pills and how they can also cause a lot of problems to our health. So do listen carefully. Hi, Doc. How are you?
I'm doing great, Chris.
Oh, Doc. So we are going to be talking about the pill paradox. Now, when medicine becomes a disease. All right, so let's get straight into it. First of all, can pills or medicine actually make you sick?
Thank you very much, Chris, and thanks for having me today. Medicines or drugs or pills or whatever synonym you choose to call it, has been one of the greatest inventions in medicine. And this is because if not for medicines, most of the conditions that were plaguing us, especially infectious conditions, I'm sure would have been wiped out.
So malaria would have killed us, you know that?
A lot. Yeah,
Wow.
it's still killing when we don't, take the medications or don't seek treatment early. So if you realize during the course of medical evolution, we've come out with insulin to help diabetics. We've come out with chemotherapy to help people with cancer.
Yeah.
We've come out with antihypertensives for BP.
Yeah.
We've come out with agents for diabetes as well.
Even GLPs for slimming weight, for slimming
weight,
down.
Yeah. So the
and they're all medicine.
Good. So the en vogue one now is the GLPs.
GLPs.
Yeah. For weight management
Yeah.
and all that. So these are all advances that have happened.
Doc, you said it's in vogue.
It's en vogue now. I know it's been there for some time now.
But Doc, it's a medicine. You're making it look like a trend.
It's virtually a trend.
Well,
So
it's
that's
now
what
a
I'm saying.
trend,
It's en
though.
vogue.
Yeah, so GLPs are now a trend.
Yeah,
True.
So, and all what medicines are supposed to do is to alter your physiology to normal levels when they deviate from the normal. And this same mechanism that medicines use can also result in harmful effects if they are not used properly.
Right.
So even though medications are for healing, if some preconditions are not met, the same processes that these medicines lead to healing can also end up hurting us. That is why we are saying it's a paradoxical situation we have. More like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It can either help or harm, and it all depends on some of the things we'll be talking about today.
All right, so now, if you're taking several medicines at the same time, can that be an issue?
So when you take several medicines, that's what we call polypharmacy. Polypharmacy means that as an individual, you are regularly, the word is regularly, taking more than 5 medications daily or at a time. Now, what happens is when you take several medications, several things happen. Number one, we are going to have issues with dosing. 5 medicines, you may forget which one you should take, how much dose you should take. That's number one. And number two, when you combine all these medications together, all medicines come with side effects. One drug can give you very bad or deleterious side effects. So you can imagine taking 5 drugs together. That will also lead to more potentiated or aggravated side effects. And who wants side effects? Nobody. So what happens is when the side effects are a lot, what happens is that adherence or compliance becomes an issue. So most people who are on more than 5 medications, mostly the challenge we have is adherence. Then the other thing too has to do with duplicate therapy. Sometimes you can have some condition and they'll give you 2 medications. And if the doctor or the prescriber is not careful, you may end up having 2 medications that are actually doing the same thing.
The same thing.
So
So just different names.
Just different names, but so we call it duplicate therapy. And then sometimes the effects on even the organs may also be potentiated. The 2 major organs in the body that are functional for handling drugs are the kidneys and the liver.
Yeah.
So taking so much of these medications can lead to very harmful effects on the functions of these 2 organs. And you ask yourself, who are the people who normally take these multiple medications or more than 5 medications, which we call polypharmacy? Normally those who have hypertension. I've seen people who take more than 12 medications at a go. So polypharmacy at 5 is even at the entry stage. People are taking more than 10 medications. A day, yeah. So if you have hypertension, the chances of you getting polypharmacy is high. If you have diabetes, and the funny thing is these conditions, they are like twins. You barely see somebody with hypertension without diabetes.
Oh, that's true.
So that's why somebody can take about, and then cholesterol also comes in.
Yeah.
So that's why people can take about 12 medications. And then people who have arthritis, because of the pain.
Yeah, it's actually very painful.
Very painful. They take all kinds of medications. And then those who also have what we call chronic liver or kidney disease, they also have a lot of medications they take. And people with heart failure are also those who end up with this polypharmacy. So because drugs undergo a process we call pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics, the kinetics come in as in how the drug is absorbed, how it is distributed, how it is excreted, and even how it is metabolized.
Right.
If you end up with a lot of medications, all these processes are going to have effects on each other. And then the dynamics come in when drugs have either additive or opposing effects. They may be diametrically opposed or they may potentiate their effects on each other. So for example, if you are taking an antibiotic and then you combine it with, what do you call it, an antacid, the effectiveness or the absorption of the antibiotic will go down. Most people don't
Doc,
know
you
this.
just saved me. You just saved me. Because I usually take antacids, right?
Okay.
Because I have GERD.
Okay.
Yeah. And now, so I had to take an antibiotic at a time. But I didn't take the antacid because I was in pain. Like, it was burning.
The universe will respect you.
Yeah, but the universe was like, it might just be a little bit too much. So I just did my antibiotic course.
And then you finished.
Then I finished it, and I was like, okay, I can take the antacid now.
Great.
But luckily for me, the burn had gone down.
Wow.
Yes,
wow.
I had to use like
that was a
water.
great intervention.
Because I just told myself, this thing might just be too much.
Very good.
Yeah.
So that's one example. That's the drug-drug interactions. That's the cost of taking so many medications.
But you see, sometimes they don't tell us.
Very true.
You people don't tell us.
You see, when you are working,
don't tell us.
it's not sometimes our problem, or it's as if we are negligent in a way.
Yeah.
I've worked in a place where patients are outside and they are fighting as to who should enter.
Right,
So the
right.
numbers. So that's some of the, but it doesn't mean that we should not. I always say that even though the doctor-patient ratio may be high, the only thing you should concern yourself with is the patient sitting in front of you.
But even the pharmacists sometimes, like when you get the antibiotics, I know they do well in telling you, okay, don't drink milk, don't drink alcohol. That's great. But you see, no one has ever told me about this antacid part. And there are a lot of us using antacids because of GERD.
Ulcer and
ulcer and all that.
Yeah.
So nobody has ever told us. But thank you for telling me. That's why we do this show, to learn, right?
Yeah. So another classical example is if you combine medications that are supposed to thin blood. There's an example
the blood
called
thinning ones.
the thinning ones. If you combine two of them, you can bleed to death.
Yeah.
So an example is warfarin. Warfarin, if you add it with another blood thinning drug, you can have
like aspirin. Aspirin is blood thinning.
Another. So clopidogrel, all those ones, so they help. And then if you take antihypertensives and you add potassium supplements. So you see how multiple medications.
So at this point, there are a lot of people taking medication.
Yes.
Clearly. And I just even gave you an example of myself because I was having a problem and needed to take an antibiotic at the same time. So now, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to always check, say, do a little research before taking the medicines, or when we see this research, we call the doctor and tell the doctor? At this point, what do we do?
Research is very important, and in the era of AI, you can always ask, if I combine these two medications, what will happen? That's one phase of it. So the Google doctors, you can go that trajectory. Then we also have communication. If you go to the hospital and then doctor is going to prescribe medications for you, you should actually have your medication lists presented to the doctor.
So you tell them,
these are the medications I take.
am on.
Because the one I just told you, the potassium with some BP medications, we call them ACE inhibitors. If you combine them, you are going to increase the amount of potassium in our blood. And that is what is actually used for euthanasia, killing people.
Euthanasia.
They just inject potassium, high doses, and you are gone. So you can actually do your own.
So you can actually do your own euthanasia?
By just taking those medications with So these are very serious things we are discussing, and we've lost a lot of people because of
Doc,
that.
let's explain euthanasia to some people. Not everybody
Somebody
knows.
wants to.
Yeah. So basically, if people who want to, unalive themselves.
I like that term, unalive.
Yes, we don't like